when people use the BTTB, I think is what it is. Mm-hmm. So that we don't just read when it says Sag. It says muted.
Oh, you don't have chat on here. Oh, never fucking mind. If you don't have chat, then it doesn't matter. Yeah, the condenser microphone's on.
Still muted?
No,
it's fine now. Okay, I understand. I was just late to reading,
if you don't have,
as usual.
Since you don't have the actual chat box on this screen, you're good. Never mind.
Oh, okay.
What? Okay.
Goodbye. See ya.
Thanks, tech support.
Yeah.
Got your water. Got your drink.
Where?
Gotcha. Owl. We should pick a different one every time.
Oh yeah, pick one of the Which one? You don't know anything about Pokemon, so pick
Me?
one of the ones that looks. Do you?
I know about the first generation. Look, Charmander.
I was gonna say you're aging yourself again.
Okay, because young people can't know about the original 150. Do you know about the original 150?
Right.
Or are you like, who's Bulbasaur?
I know the starters at least.
Well, I've played Pokemon, the one for Switch. What's that one? Pokemon Now. Pokemon Zip.
Sky and Night and Sun and Moon? Sun and Moon?
Sun and Moon? Someone... No, I played Pokemon Go as well, but that's like... No, the one that came out during the pandemic that everybody was like...
Oh, Pokemon Go. That was on the Switch? That was on your phone?
No, Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go was on...
Oh, true. I'm like extending the pandemic to like a
Just
decade.
any time before
yeah.
now. The one for the Switch. Where it's like I don't...
Fire. They said Fire and Ice.
Is it Fire and Ice? I don't know. Don't stress me out.
Well, anyways, guys, welcome back to Vulgar Science.
Hi, yeah. So...
Oh
my gosh, hey, Krista. How's it going?
Hello.
And thank you for the gifted subs. It's amazing. Free and Fork, hi. Guest2563, hi. Woohoo! What a good start to the whole situation.
Yes.
Amazing, yeah. For those of you that don't know, I know there's a couple people in here that were in Risto Rock's stream yesterday. And yeah, so Vulgar Science is when we talk about vulgar shit and
science.
And science. But to give you guys a bit of background, I know the people that have been here before have heard this before, but to vulgarize is basically a word that means to make something simple and like easy to understand and that sort of thing. But it also means to make it like dirty.
Lewd, coarse.
Lewd, crude, coarse. That's us. So yeah, we kind of have been talking about doing a SciComms thing for a while, and lo and behold, here we are ready to SciComms about comms. We're talking about communication today. So we got here. Man, hope y'all having a good day. Yeah, we're having a great day. Thank you for being here. How was you guys' day? How's everything? Productive. Good to hear, Level A. Good to see you again. Good to see you too. Good. Yeah. Cool, yeah.
Oh, we haven't updated our follower goal.
Right, so I did, but I didn't realize that it didn't do it here. I don't know, because when I do it at home, it doesn't always change. Okay. I don't know. I just don't really know. I don't know. Okay. It's set to 169 right now. Nice.
106. You're like, let's up it.
Listen, it's going to be all intervals of 69 and 96, with the exception of 182 is going to be a party. Because
what about 420 at some point as well?
Well, sure, but that's like way far off.
Yeah. Okay,
but yeah, 420, sure. 420 we'll do the episode on cannabis for 420.
Cannabis episode for 420. Yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
So that because we've hit our follower goal within the past week, we need to plan a Saturday fun time stream.
Yeah, but this bitch is going to California without me.
Okay.
With her husband to see their family. Completely reasonable.
Well, also to go to a conference, but...
Yeah, and to go to a conference. So that's why we chose communications today, which at the surface isn't a very vulgar topic, but just you wait. Just anytime we talk about anything, it tends to...
Very true.
It was a cold, wet day, LOL, but happy to be home. Yeah, it's a cold, wet day here, too. It was so nice.
We've had such beautiful weather for the past week, and then today was just like, it's falling right back into that cold,
6 degrees
rainy.
Today, which is, what is that in American? 6 degrees?
6 degrees would be...
In Fahrenheit?
That is 44-ish. approximately.
So it was 44 for all y'all Yanks. Do I need to come in to change the goal? You can. You don't, but it's, you could just talk me through it. Can I just double click it? I think I just double click it. I think I know how to do this. Hold on. I'm a streamer. I know how to do this. Hold on. You guys watch. This is going to be amazing.
Amount.
Yeah, goal amount. End goal. But we want to start a new goal. New goal. No, it needs to be something cooler.
Follower goal. No?
Yeah, well, I know, but I want to... Okay, yeah, sure. Follower goal. You guys are watching me learn in real time. Goal amount. We're already at 110. What are we going to say? 169. That's ostentatious, though. You know, that's a whole 59 above what we are currently. I think that's...
I think we're past 96. I think we're at 100.
I know, we're at 110, but this is a little bit...
Oh, 59. Yeah, that maths out.
I just... It's a little bit presumptuous, but okay, whatever. You know, it's fine. It's just fine. When should we set this?
Our starting amount would be 110 now.
Right, yeah. Look at this, guys. Teamwork makes the dream work.
And you don't have to put an end date. It would just stay.
You have to.
Oh, really?
It won't let you not.
Oh, okay.
05, 25. Nope, that's not how you type.
Put a decimal point there.
Yeah, because the thing is 05 dash 25. Is it dash or slash?
Great question. It's a slash.
Guys, it's gonna be fine.
Risto Rock, sorry, I just read your news that you got asked to participate in the Mental Health Awareness Month raid train. That's super fucking cool.
That's incredible.
That's
yes.
so fucking cool.
Yeah. Okay. What's a raid train? What's like a raid conga line? I think I was a part of. Yeah. So I was watching streams this morning because the SpaceX launch of He Who Must Not Be Named, they tried to do a test launch today that got scrubbed, and a whole bunch of the SciComms people on here are like astrophysics people or astronomers and stuff like that. So a lot of the people I follow that were on this morning, the only ones that were on this morning that aren't in Australia, were that. So I was watching that, and then a Congo raid thing happened.
A conga line.
Well, I called it that. No one else called it that. I was just like, raid conga line and crickets. But that's fine. It's fine. I find myself funny. So 7:25, 76 days to go. Yeah, that's so cool. Mental Health Awareness Month raid train. How I want more details. What does this mean?
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, I would like to support you to participate.
Advocacy event.
Yeah, I'll be streaming Coffee Talk and I get rated by everyone in that event. Whoa, that's cool. Good for you. You fucking deserve it. I was at their stream yesterday and it was honestly so much fun. And yeah, Sean, can we get a shout out for Risto Rock, please? Because genuinely love it. Yeah, good content.
Seriously.
Go check it out. Super chill vibes on a Sunday, like honestly. Ooh. Yeah, good background music, and he's got like these ambient lights in the background. I'm like in my zen, just like folding socks, having a nice time, like vibing. It was awesome.
How to get rid of the Sunday scaries? Watch Risto Rock.
Legit. Yeah. I was like, oh, it's Sunday. Like at the end of my day, but I had a wonderful day actually. So, and in no small part due to Risto Rock's fantastic stream. I was given really late time slot, 12 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's not that late. 12 a.m. People stream.
Midnight PST is like 3 a.m. here.
Yeah, but for him, he's in PST.
Okay, well, so. Yeah, but like it depends on.
I guess for getting an audience,
especially if this like
around,
Twitch is like global, right? So that's literally like the end of like the whole day for everyone.
Yeah. I think someone just followed a little pop-up came and went. So, in any event, whoever that was, thank you. Don't we usually get a little dude here when that happens?
Yeah, we get a noise typically as well.
Yeah. I don't know. Did you not see there was something up there? Something popped up.
I did not see.
Anyways, if it happened, thank you to whoever that was. But, sheesh, 12 a.m. Monkus. No new follow. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm seeing things. I'm hearing things. She's unwell. No, I'm well. Yeah. I'm quite well.
Hallucination is not good for communication, dude.
It's true.
Why do you always look at me when I try to segue? You always like, I see what you're doing.
No, it's because it takes me, I'm loading. That's my loading screen. I have rainbow wheel when that happens. I'm like, okay. I'm sorry. Your segues will never be natural because you've chosen me to be
You're
the
like
person that you do
the
this
news
with.
anchor with like the delay through the camera.
Yeah. Right, back to you. So communication is the cataracts of Vegia. Yeah, but it's all good. It's a start and gives me an opportunity to spread mental wellness to new folks. Yeah, hell yeah. New Relatia EXE is loading. Yeah, critical error 404 not found. Like, yeah. So yeah, Layla has this conference. We were talking about this before, and that's partially why you're going to California. But you're also going to skydive. But because she's got the conference to prep for, we figured that we would talk about like how to be a good communicator in general, or if you have to present for like work stuff, if anybody has that in their world, you know, we can cover that too. We gave a workshop on this like relatively recently actually, and it was like super well received. People were like mega into it.
I've attended a number of presentations on how to give good like PowerPoint presentations, how to give, ours was like more catered towards like poster presentations, which is like very academic. And I think it's something that people don't really think about. I think there's a lot of people who are very like formulaic in the way that they present things, and that gets old so fast. Like anybody who's been to any type of conference knows that like you get up there and then people like explain who they are, they explain their background.
Their slides even look the fucking same.
Yes, exactly.
Like, it's so... Which is why... So, Layla's doing a poster, and if you've ever seen an academic poster, we can just, like, pull something
There's literally, like, probably, like, a template on Google.
Yeah, exactly. Whoa, hello. Alicia, get your fucking head out of your ass. What's happening?
There's
it's a pencil.
under there. Yeah.
I blamed that on myself. You see how fast I was to blame myself? Academic science. This is the loudest keyboard in the world.
Yeah, it's very
poster. But it's quite ergonomic. I don't mind it.
There we go. Pull the first one up.
Yeah. Shared a screen. Okay, so these boring motherfucking looking things that probably are making all the non-academic...
This is the one. This is the one that they all fucking look like.
Oh.
Ew, don't... what? Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Layla, are you getting clickbaited right before our very eyes?
I know, right? Can you zoom? Can you just do Control Plus?
Sure. I hate this. No, it's so blurry. No, I hate
Okay, never mind.
Where does it say how zoomed in where? Go back.
It says we're 90% right now.
We're 90? Okay, that's
kind
like
of nice, actually.
Yeah, this one's not bad, but still, like, this one's horrendous. Right? Does that not make you immediately recoil to look at?
That's like
except for this bird. That's cool. Look at it. Bird's got fucking cans.
Why are you coming for Michael F. Jones from Ohio State University, Alicia?
Michael F. Jones, if you're watching this, you need to attend a workshop. I'll even give you one-on-one advice because this is painful.
You might need to get over your text vomit. That's chaos.
Yeah. Poor Grouse. He never even knew. That's a Grouse. That's got to be a Grouse. Anyways, yeah, hate. I want to live in a hole and not talk to anyone. Just because you're an old lady. Listen, Linda. And then Pedro Daddy. Okay, so anyways, this is a typical science poster, and Layla's
feelings about that.
Accurate. How to create a better research poster. So they're really formulaic. Most people just copy paste shit, and it looks brutal.
And a lot of like departments or like labs will have one that they will like push on their students, or you know their students will just ask for it because they're like a first year in grad school and they don't know what they're doing. So they're like, please give me something. Yeah, I can talk a bit about my own, like, my experience, but...
No, I was going to suggest that you tell the story about your other supervisor, because she's co-supervised, right?
So, I'm co-supervised. I'm not trying to out her right now, but I was really struggling this past week because a lot of supervisors are very hands-on with their students. I'm not really used to that with my primary supervisor. He's very, like, chill and hands-off.
Yeah, that's the one we share, is the chill one.
We'll give, like, edits, we'll get edits on documents, like, a couple times, and then he's like, this is fine. She's the type that really likes to see the progress, and she likes to make lots of edited versions, and likes to, like, be very, very hands-on with the process.
Control freak.
I wasn't
trying to control a control freak.
I wasn't going to use those words, but So I was
Why
really
are you in the
struggling.
corner?
I'm always in the corner.
I know.
But I was really struggling because I was using a Canva template that I started using last year and have gotten a lot of buzz, like not quote unquote buzz, but people have come up to it and said, oh, looks very different. This is interesting. And they engage with the poster more because it looks different than this template that we saw, like that every fucking poster looks like. And you just
It's like when you're flipping through a novel and all of a sudden there's a page with a picture and you're like, whoa, in a novel? What's going on? I gotta check this out. And you're like, oh, it's a map of the land that's in the book?
Yes,
it's cool. Anyways,
And not even...
Chris T.S.
Hello,
welcome.
Chris T.S. Welcome.
Welcome.
I think is that the science?
Yeah, that's definitely a science emote. So welcome. I'm Neralicia.
And I'm Layla Show.
Yeah.
And we're talking about science communications today.
Yeah, very topical for followers of science. They do obviously amazing science communications, but yeah, we're getting specific now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Layla's poster is like hot shit and like looks really visually appealing to like it draws the eye. You're interested because it stands out in the crowd.
Yeah. And I appreciate that. I've literally just been doing because I'm like, ooh, it looks pretty, like, and the thing is, we just did a presentation not even a month ago where we sat down. It was a workshop, where students came and we told them how to give good presentations. And Alicia literally has this like book, this manual that
I've showed it on streams so many times. If anyone's been to my Friday streams, I'm like, so the Bible.
Her presentation Bible, which is like, when you are giving a poster presentation, yes, you'll have your poster up for the whole day and people will come by and like, it should be as intuitive as possible. It should be easy to understand, like any presentation. But not everything needs to be dictated on that poster. As we said, it shouldn't be extremely text heavy. You shouldn't be going into your methods as in like describing the instruments that you use and have them in like in parentheses the way you would in a paper or maybe like even a PowerPoint presentation.
With any presentation, you don't want extraneous information. Like one of the cardinal rules of any type of presentation is to cater it to what you want the audience to walk away knowing. So like,
exactly,
if you need them to know that your sample was undergraduate students from McGill recruited through SONA, then sure, toss it up. But people probably don't care. They probably just care if it's human beings or fucking mice. So like, don't waste your space and like assault my eyes with your dumb bullshit, you know? Or even like, I don't know, in conversations and stuff like that. Extraneous details. Get to the point.
Yeah. Well, the thing about poster presentations is that you're going to be sitting in front of it giving an elevator pitch. So having like multiple paragraphs of text on this like board behind you while you're trying to engage with this person, face to face, make eye contact while they keep looking to read your poster, that is not the ideal situation. You want to leave things off the poster so that you can say them out loud and you can communicate them in your like 1 to 3 minute elevator pitch essentially.
Yeah.
And that was just not my co-super. That's just not the way that she does things. Did you win?
Like, how did that resolve?
I pretty much just I just played the like avoidance tactics where I was like just barely responding to emails and text messages, like trying not to
She texts you?
Yeah.
Professional boundaries. What are those? Never heard of her.
She's quite young. She's like 37, I think, so.
That's something I do in my work when I present. Just create talking points, keep it short, and elaborate when needed. Chris T.S. Nice. I often get tossed material for a lecture to present. She tends to overwhelm while I work to engage in as minimal as way as possible. Loving this talk. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Saying it was so weird when I heard that Layla's boss wanted more text. Here's the thing. In any presentation, your eyes first go to pictures. Figures, like if it's a graph, that's a picture kind of thing. They go to that first. Then they go to like title text kind of thing, like bigger, bolder text. Then they'll go to smaller ones and then they attend to bullet points. Like that's the flow. It doesn't matter if you put one top left or if you put your picture bottom right and small. the eye is going to go there. That's just what happens cognitively. So use that to your advantage and don't distract from your own material. Like, you're shooting yourself in the foot by putting a whole, like, figure caption.
Well, she literally was like, you need big caption. Like, you need to explain your analysis methodology. And I was like, this
So
is...
she wants you to put that you put an ANOVA or something?
Literally.
Are you fucking...
Can I actually say something? There was a table with... It was a repeated measures design where we measured variables across time at multiple time points. And I was trying, it was two methodologies, and I'm trying to show, they're kind of technically both dependent variables, but I was trying to show that they correlate together. So I put in a correlation table of variable 1, time point 1, variable 2, time point 2, and then had this table. And it was like, I had, obviously, when you have it set up, you're going to just have diagonal, like, correlation. The rest of it's going to be empty because you're not going to present all that information that you don't need. She didn't understand that table. And she was like, you need to explain this. And I was like, this is, like, a very intuitive figure. Like, I don't understand what I have to explain. Like, it literally, I wrote correlation coefficients of these variables at different time points. Like,
you learned that in first year.
It was very easy to understand. I was so confused why she didn't understand it. Yeah. And because she didn't understand it, she assumed other people wouldn't understand it. And I had to put these long-ass explanations. And I honestly just put my foot down and I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. Like, that's just not happening.
Good for you, man. I'm glad, because, like, your poster's nice, and you give good you give good presentations. Quite young at 37. That's what I like to hear. Especially in academia, if you have a lab of your own in your 30s, you are like a young investigator. Sure. Like,
keeping in mind that you have to do undergrad, then you do a PhD, which, you know, depending if you do a master's and then you do it however long your PhD lasts, that can end up being 9 years on top of your 4 years of undergrad. Then you have to do a postdoc, which those can last anywhere from, like...
Frequently you have to do 2 if you want to...
3 to 5 years. In this current, economy, you get, like, multiple postdocs of, like, 2 to 3 years each.
Yeah.
And then you finally maybe get is it assistant professor? No,
Well, you would get associate probably first, then you become assistant, and then you become full. But, like, anyways...
Yeah.
Let's talk about how long Alicia has been in school. Let's not talk about how long I've been in school, because it's basically my entire life in this economy. Yeah. Anyways, so, like, obviously not everyone here is scientists, so, like, I wanted to talk a little bit just about, like, just general communication and how you can, like, utilize these same tips for presentations or for, like, your life kind of thing, because a lot of stuff, like being nervous before you give a talk, before you give a poster presentation, before you ask someone to be your, sweetheart, or before you have a confrontation with your, boss or whatever, like you get nervous, and there's, like, things that you can do for that. There's ways to get your point across. Absolutely. When you're just trying to, like, argue a point. Maybe you won't think you deserve a raise and you want to go in and talk to your, superior about it. Like, all of these things, it's not just for, like, formal, I'm giving a presentation, everybody knows I'm giving a presentation. Like, you can take these sorts of things on the road, if you will.
Yeah. I agree. Some of the things that I have learned, actually from TED Talks, which are a wonderful example of people giving good presentations, is that there are certain things that you can do to make yourself feel more confident before you go into a presentation as well.
You're not nervous, you're excited kind of?
Yes, I learned that from a TED Talk. Yeah. I learned that, we can always talk about power poses, which is one of, I think, the most watched TED Talks.
So I wanted to talk about the neuroscience behind why the I'm not nervous, I'm excited actually works, because I think that that's interesting. So you can explain it. Like, I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah, I only know of the concept itself. I don't know the mechanics behind it.
So, but, like, you walk up to, like, you're nervous before you give a talk, or you're nervous before you go into a conversation where it's like, ooh, I don't know what they're going to say. And basically, the science of it is that your body, when you're nervous, excited, scared, any of those things, what's happening in your, like, main body, excluding your central nervous system, or your brain mainly, not necessarily your spinal cord, is that adrenaline is happening. Your adrenal glands are the little hats on top of your kidneys, I believe. And you can pull it over if you want.
Sorry, I'm just...
So your body does not know the difference between nervous, scared, excited. It's all just like heart pump faster, pupils dilate, excite, you know, like, should I run? You know, so it's like, Risto Rock will be lurking, go to shower and get ready for an appointment. Be back soon. All right, see you. Thank you for lurking. Turning on the turbo booster. Yeah, exactly. So adrenaline's coursing through your body and it needs to be outlet, right? That's one way to offload it so you can actually do physiological things. Ooh. God.
I know why this is a very bright. Sorry, this is just how I learned about this. So.
Oh yeah.
You can continue essentially. So there's multiple theories of emotion. The one that we're referring to right now, which actually is one of the most commonly accepted theories in psychology, is the James Lang, which you feel your physiological sensations, and then you cognitively label those things. So
arousal. Snake.
Arousal. Look at this man's face.
Okay. Sure.
But that is how that essentially works, is that you feel your nervousness and excitement feel the same, and it really depends on that cognitive switch of how you label them.
So that's what's called bottom-up processing, and in neuroscience there's bottom-up, so body to brain, elevator going up, bottom-up, and then there's top-down control, and both of these processes are, so the one that she's talking about, James Lang, doesn't really matter who the theories, they're all kind of right a little bit and all kind of wrong a little bit, but that's kind of beyond the scope of what we're talking about here. But
sorry, the stream is so gay. Bottoms, tops, and arousal snakes.
You know, I love me an arousal snake. Not recently.
That anaconda.
It's not a shit post, it's science, I swear. That I've seen that exact diagram in textbooks that I've taught from. I've taught these things as recently as last summer, I think, when we taught for Dean.
And it's usually paired with like hilarious photos that are just like like clip art, like wolves and shit. Like it's always bad. Yeah.
Anyways, so you have this bottom-up message, right? And the beautiful thing about being the smart human beings that we are is that we also have frontal control of things. You have your executive center, your frontal lobe, that enables you to exert, you know, framing around this. So you can give context to these feelings. And the trick that we're talking about is literally just reframing in your brain, I'm not nervous, I'm excited. I'm not nervous, I'm excited. You can repeat that to yourself. You can envision that for yourself, whatever it is. And that's top-down control. And basically you harness that energy for good. And then the other thing that I was saying before is you can actually physically offload that energy, because when your adrenaline is going and norepinephrine's happening in your brain, what it's basically telling your kind of lizard body to do, your snake body, is to move, whether it's move towards something because you're excited about it, like, ooh, piece of candy kind of thing, or ooh, snake, or like, ooh, snake. Any of those things, like snake, whatever that, you know, thing is, the point is you're either moving towards or you're moving away. It's not necessarily always going to be flight or fight. It's not always negative, but either way it's movement. So what you can do is actually expel that energy and walk around. What do you like?
No, I was going to say, so my little sister, actually, when she was dealing with like really, really intense general anxiety that was her diagnosis, her therapist actually told her, when you get when it comes to like a climactic point, do push-ups to release that physical, that energy, that
100%.
Entropy, quote unquote.
Yeah, 100%. Chris T.S. Awareness of this is essential. Practice self-auditing really helps identify these stages and gives one the option to either be aware and go with it or control it. Nice. Yeah, it's... So one thing that I wanted to relate back to, I think I talked about this last stream or this stream. I think it was my last Friday stream. EMDR, eye movement desensitization therapy. When they do the thing. Anyways, That's based on science. And the reason I bring this up is because I always tell people to go for a walk when I'm like giving advice for presentations, like right before, just do a brisk walk like around the room or like, you know, anywhere that you can, just like offload some of that energy. And part of that is because of the same science that EMDR has, which is that lateral eye movements back and forth, not up, down, basically downregulate activity in the amygdala. And the amygdala, as we know, is famously known, amongst many other things, but is famously known for being related to fear response or like that nervous kind of energy, right?
Interesting.
Which is why, you know, the meme that's like going on a stupid little mental health walk for my stupid brain. Like you guys all know about that. Like people tell you go for a walk.
Yeah.
That visual flow that causes your eyes to move side to side, there's actual science in that. Yeah.
That's actually so fucking
So
cool.
your little stupid mental health walks aren't so stupid anymore. They're the real science in your brain.
Can I do a mental health walk at the same time as a hot girl walk? Can those coincide
Absolutely.
simultaneously?
Every hot girl walk is
a mental health walk.
I don't even know what a hot girl walk is, but love it. What is a hot girl walk?
Hot girl walk, I've been told, I actually am not fully sure myself. All I know is that it requires a girl who is attractive going outside for a walk.
Okay.
Apparently there's like two versions. There's like the I'm on a mission girl, like who's like got somewhere to be and is like you walking from like your place to our place. You know what I
Okay.
mean? And you're like,
Yeah.
I got, 30 minutes.
How is this related to the gay walk, the gay iced coffee walk? Like, get out of my
Well,
way.
that's what I was going to say. I think on the other side, it's like the girls who are like in their Lululemon who are like, ooh, I want to go out and like be seen.
Okay.
And who have their iced coffee and they're going out for like a walk in the neighborhood, essentially.
All right, sure. I don't know that I've ever purposefully no, I've like gone out to be seen, but I like go to a place. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
it's not the walk itself. It's not the journey. It's the destination.
I'm the same way. Sean loves to go for walks, just walks, and I'm like, okay, I need to go, we need to go like get lemonade or like go get like an iced coffee. Like I need to be
Destination.
going somewhere.
Yeah.
Like I can't just walk in a circle and call it a day.
An evolution of de-armoring we used back in the day.
Move, I'm gay.
Yeah. De-armoring. What do you mean? I'm confused what that relates to.
I think that was relating to we're talking about like emotions, like mental health.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm loading all the time. Loading just a little bit. I'm on dial-up, y'all. So sorry about that.
Loading or loaded?
Not
kidding.
loaded.
Completely
I'm so
unloaded.
sober
Unloaded.
lately. I'm just a ding dong. Move. I'm gay. Gay is a mix of both Lululemon Linda's. Neuralicia.exe strikes again every time. Anyways, yeah. So hot girl walks, I guess. I have a mean walk. I have a purposeful walk.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think that maybe I like look friendly ? Because people
Do you
ask
just stop
me
for directions a lot?
all the fucking
All the time.
and frequently I'm like actively have headphones in and like
Yeah.
walking with purpose.
Yeah.
And people will be like, "Excuse me," even in French, and I'll just be like,
I know, I always have to go, parlez-vous anglais? And then when they don't, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna ask anybody else on the street, they can help you.
yeah, I just tell them I don't speak French in French. I'm like, je ne parle pas français. Hello, hey, okay, DK, welcome back. We talking communication. Premise was our body reacts to our emotions. Oh, yes, and the reverse. Posture and activity can affect your mind, saying, 100%, the
True.
power pose thing. Yeah, talk about that. You mentioned it earlier.
Yeah, so this is, I think, one of the most famous TED Talks out there is talking about the fact that just like posture and pose allows you to affect your mental state.
What's
as
the
well.
power pose? The power pose is
So-
like the Superman. Like
Classic is like hands on the hips.
Right.
I think another one is also like leaning on a table and like,
lean in is definitely for
Exactly.
the audience's perception.
Yes.
If you lean back, it's perceived as retreat.
Yes.
And nervous. If you lean forward, it's seen as like confident, assertive. Raw. But that can also backfire on you because you don't want to seem arrogant, right? Like you have to be balanced about it.
Well, it has to come off as natural, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Completely agree.
Think fast. Yeets brain cell. Brain cell flies into the horizon. I missed. Now we have no brain
Jenny
cell.
from Montreal.
Jenny from Montreal. Welcome, Jenny from Montreal. Parle-tu français? We don't.
Seulement un petit peu.
Yeah, un petit peu. Yeah.
I can actually go through, I went through a phone call with my grocery store for the first time.
Yeah.
It was a couple weeks ago, and I made it through a call where she was speaking French to me, and then I repeated English back to her.
Yeah.
And it worked, and I was so proud of myself.
If they talk slow enough, I can hear
Yes, yeah.
that, like, I can understand it just fine, but my loading screen is even slower in a second language. Like, if you think I'm slow now, which I am, just imagine me being like, blink, blink, blink. Like, someone will just be like, can I help you? Like, blah, 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 quelque chose. And I'll be like, quelque chose, okay. What's quelque chose? Something. Do I need something? No, merci. Like, that's how long it takes me. They watch me struggle.
Yeah.
They just let it happen,
They're like
too.
watching the gears
Yeah.
like turning.
Exactly. Foot up on a chair. Yeah. Oh, foot up on a chair. If anybody ever did the Captain fucking Morgan pose in a talk, can you imagine?
What is it?
Foot up on a chair, like the Captain Morgan. You know what I'm talking about.
You mean like feet up on like a desk type thing?
No, like ah.
Oh yeah.
Like Captain Morgan.
Oh, like
A power pose.
Like Captain
Can you
Morgan's
imagine like
Spice
rolling
Rock.
into a talk and being like, all right, it's nearest done, babies. Like, come on. No.
Oh my god.
Anyways, that's oh, Muse clues. Hi, blink. I don't know what blink is, but loved that.
It's your eyes going pink.
Oh, blink, blink. Yeah, that's me. Please start the stream like that. We could do like hard styles too, you know, like when you kneel down and like you do one of these and like, yeah, love that. That's very like early 2000s hardcore, aging myself. Whoopsie. Good afternoon.
You mean like the getting iced pose essentially, but like without the
Getting
sweat
iced
off?
pose is yeah.
That's like that, what we just did essentially, but our hands are...
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like it's a little bit more like aggressive. Like it's kind of like, yo, this is my crew.
Okay.
I don't know.
I was gonna say, I know what you're talking about, but only vaguely. It must have been on the out when I got on social
Oh, it was
media.
probably like well out by the time you even existed, but that's okay. Ahoy. Like that. Please start streaming like that, please.
Well, next stream will.
But then no one from, like, it's not guaranteed people are going to be like, what's happening? Why are they acting like this? Honestly, anybody that knows
Ahoy,
us
mateys. Welcome to Vulgar Science.
Yo hoy. Speaking of which, who here is in favor of an eventual follower goal that makes tech support come out just as a Mountie or just as Princess Leia?
Mm-hmm.
Because
He can also be a sexy cop. We have quite a few
ooh,
female Halloween costumes. That you
I
could-
mean, ACAB, but I'd allow it. Yes, do this. Elisa, Muse is here. Do the thing. Oh, do the thing. Do the thing. Do I remember how to do the thing?
Is it a poll? Is that what we're trying to do?
You do the thing. Wait, no. I didn't agree to this. Yes, do it.
Neuronaut.
Neuronaut.
Yes, do it. See, there we go.
Welcome to the chat. That is a
Welcome.
great way to come into chat, by the way.
Absolutely.
I forget how to do it. Is it /
Poll? Wait, what are you doing?
We're trying to make Muse a VIP because he was my first ever viewer person, and I just don't know how to do it.
Wouldn't Maud know how to do that?
Mod does know how to do it. Okay, here we go.
VIPs.
But this displays a list of
Oh.
VIPs. Okay, here, yeah, no, guys, I'm such a streamer. Check this out. Oh. Muse clues, big ups.
Is it case sensitive?
Well, I wrote it in its case, didn't I?
Yeah, you're good. Okay, try it.
You have added Muse Clues as a VIP of this channel. For those of you that don't know, when it was just little old me speaking to no one, Muse Clues came in and just participated in chat and had a lot of good things to say and has been here ever since. So long for the
Yeah.
ride, all the chaos as we grow and mature into the now 4 or 5-year-olds that we act like. Or I act like. You act like a full-grown adult sometimes.
Not I laugh at
A fun
everything.
adult, but
I like to think so.
yeah.
Sean and I
that.
were actually having this conversation on another topic of communication.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that people really enjoy about like social situations is when people are just like honest and vulnerable, and like we were talking about this. I was hanging out with some of my colleagues and we struggle with some of them that just don't know how to be like vulnerable, and like everything is like small talk and there's no like let's talk about like real life type of things. And I was just like, I don't get it, because like, you know, like I have no filter, I feel like, a lot of the time. So it's like I that's one of the things that I try very, very hard to do, is like be like very honest and like talk about like what's going on in my life. When people ask me how are you, it's very rarely do I ever say like fine. I'm usually like, I'm alive, like I'm good.
Because your husband lived in Germany for 4 years. They're like, my dog has died.
Yeah, that's true, exactly. In Germany, they always be telling you how they actually are.
Welcome to the chat. Oh, we should also VIP Doug. Because he's a VIP in our lives. You know you're a VIP, though. VIP Dougie Licios. Is it just Dougie Licious, or is there numbers?
There's an E after Dougie.
Oh, God. Do I know how to spell one of my best friends? Licios. Dougie. Is it just that, or is there like an underscore or anything?
There you go.
No, it's just Dougie Licious. Is that right?
Yeah, do it.
Hold on, I'm going to case it. Did I do it?
What?
Douglas. My name is long and complex. Much like yourself. Tall.
I was going to say,
tall.
Is he long?
I would not know. Doug is a platinum star gay. That's definitely not part of our really long boy. Okay, so related to that is like another communication, like actual tip. And I think something that we kind of do here that engenders people like being ready to be vulnerable and stuff like that is like taking like the stigma away from things. Like, you know, you bare your soul, you say your things, you talk about the unspoken stuff, and it like kind of breaks the ice for the like no one has that tension. If we're like, okay, we'll talk about sex, we'll talk about you know, drugs, we'll talk about whatever, like all of these forbidden topics, or like Layla was saying, in an interpersonal situation, being vulnerable to the people. Not everyone's going to receive that well, but part of it is like know your audience, right?
I guess that's true. I feel like I consider myself to be like a relatively non-judgmental human when it comes to
read the arousal snake. When I said Delicious is long and complex.
Long boy.
Listen, and it made me think of Tabitha, and only Doug knows what I'm talking about, and just never mind Tabitha's eye.
Are you talking about One-Eyed
snake?
Willie's sister?
Okay, I forgot that you knew about
her. Her dog is destructive when it comes to her toys, as most dogs are. Yeah. And they had this snake, which they named Willie at first, right?
Well, so I don't remember if Tabitha predated Willie or Willie predated Tabitha. There's been multiple snakes.
There's been many snakes.
There's been many snakes in my life in many ways.
Willie's progression is the most interesting, though, because he went from Willie to One-Eye Willie
to No-Eyed Willie.
Blind Willie. Blind Willie.
Blind Willie. Oh, dear. The No-Eyed snake.
Because I guess Hoon is really into ripping the button eyes out.
She does, yeah. I worked with someone who'd ask, how are you, and breeze on by. So one day I stepped in front of her and spent the next 20 minutes telling her. After that, she greeted me with a grin and a hi. Made a good friend that day, and she changed her greetings. Win-win. Nice. Oh, Tabitha. And you can't forget Christine. Oh, Christine. There was this, like, it was made... toy? Okay, so, but it was, like, rope woven to, like, look like a teddy bear, but that only works.
That was a teddy bear?
You never saw Christine before she was addicted to drugs.
Jesus.
I mean, I shouldn't make funny or make jokes about being addicted to drugs. That is a serious plight of people. But anyways, I mean, we did this kind of like harsh voice, like Christine was born addicted to drugs because her mother did them, and that was.
I actually know people like that.
I do too. I was referencing real people.
Oh, gosh.
How has she named all these toys though? She knows they're doomed. She actually doesn't destroy the little ones. It's the big ones that the fluff comes out of easily. But lots of her other ones, they just get gross and slobbery and eventually get like a little hole. But she doesn't destroy the little ones. She likes the little babies.
That's true.
Yeah.
All the fruits and...
Yeah. So, yeah. That's about my dog's toys, I guess. It's because of the arousal snake, because I read that while you were talking about real things. You were talking about like being honest.
About being, like I perceive myself to be like relatively non-judgmental, so I feel like you know, there obviously are judgmental people. So if I talk about things that like I don't care that I'm talking about it. But for instance, like if somebody, like a couple, for instance, were to say that they like swing or they're polyamorous, I would be like, oh my God, tell me everything. That's so interesting. But I feel like a lot of people would keep that under wraps because they know, like, they think people would be like really judgmental about them.
That's a really...
And would make them guarded.
That's true. The fact that you were like, tell me everything, that's like reminded me of one of the things that is a communication tip for anything is be interested, not interesting. You can be interesting, but people love to talk about themselves, right? Like, who doesn't? We're talking about ourselves. Like, hello? Hi. It's us. But yeah, like, and that will make people like you so much. Like, even if you start a presentation or a talk and come in and be like, how's everybody doing? Or like, even like a question that you don't actually want the answer to, like say you start early in the morning and you're the first talk of the day and it's sparsely attended kind of thing, you can walk up and be like, is anybody else like wishing it was a little bit later, or is anybody else on their second cup of coffee already? And like a rhetorical question, but it engenders people being engaged, and again, it makes them kind of like on your side, right?
It's relatable, right?
It's relatable, and it gets down to like that lowest common denominator that everybody can relate to, and then you can build up from there by giving them information that you want. Like, hey, I'm going to talk to you today about neuroscience, okay? Like, in this context that we're literally doing right now, we could have complete lay people that are entirely out of neuroscience, right? So that's how we kind of like build things in and out, is we start with the common ground. We're all here on Twitch, we're all like chill people, you know what I mean?
Is anybody else hating their lives?
Rock is just right. Life is pain, am I right? Ask questions to amputee. Ask questions to the one with a facial birthmark. Balance it out with not being confrontive. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, being non-judgmental, I think, is like super important. Like, be judgmental about things that you should be judgmental about. Like, if people are shitty, judge them.
If they're
like,
actually mean to people.
Yeah, like bad people.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. That's not usually people, but yeah. I'm trying to look at me now.
Look at your notes.
Yeah, we kind of like bounced into the back end of it. Oh, there was this whole thing about neural entrainment that I thought was super interesting. There's this guy, Yuri Hansen at Princeton, that was talking about why storytelling is such an effective way of communicating, which is super meta because I'm about to tell a story about me watching this guy telling a story about telling stories. So buckle in. But basically, there's something called neural entrainment. So the meaning of a story can cause the same places in my brain as I'm telling the story to activate as on your end, as long as the meaning is the same between the two of us. So people used to think that it was about the actual sound that was coming out of your mouth that would cause you to have similar patterns and for the message to be received. But they found out that it wasn't the case, because this is why translations and stuff like that work to some degree when you're doing stories and stuff like that. You can have someone tell a story in like Russian, the same story to like a Russian listener, and have an English speaker tell it to an English listener, and you'll have that same mapping of the brain. The different areas of the brain will light up, will match between the listener and the storyteller, which is called neural entrainment. And that's why stories are so good, because it causes this like group synchronicity that's presumably happening right now, because it doesn't need to be face to face. And I think that's super cool that, like, you know, everyone talks about stories being a really engaging way to like get people to understand something, and everyone's like, tell a story with your project. And it's like, what? I'm taking pictures of mice faces. What's the story? Like, fucking Rupert or whatever. Who's that guy? Rupert with the car?
Are you talking about Ron Weasley?
No, that's Rupert Grint. Guys, you know what I'm talking about? The fucking mouse that couldn't take Ratatouille if he tried? Rupert.
Are you talking about Stuart Little?
Stuart Little. It's Rupert.
Rupert? Who's Rupert?
Rupert and Stuart. That's it.
Yeah, that's okay. You're not wrong.
there's, assonance there and stuff like that. Anyways.
Assonance.
Well, it's a literary device. Rupert, oh my god. I vote to change his name.
Rupert Big.
Rupert Small, Ratatouille, Remy Big. There was a meme that was, someone was just like, who do you think would take each other in a fight, Stuart Little or Remy? And someone was just like, how is this even a question? Remy is a fucking street rat from the streets of Paris. He would absolutely demolish that fucking spoiled little bitch mouse.
Also, he can literally control humans by tugging on their
Right?
hair.
But someone like just blasted off, and I was just like, yes, I love this rat content. Anyways,
oh my god.
Yes. Okay.
He really had the rags to riches story, huh? From the streets to being a 5-star chef.
We love a self-made man.
Rat.
Go Remy, go. Yeah, not the words themselves, the meaning, translated stories,
So I completely agree with this, and so one of these like many, workshops or whatever I've gone to about how to do a good presentation is you start it, and this is why I always say when people do formulaic shit, like they say like, oh, this is my name and this is my lab and like this is like we're from this university, beep bop boop. You're not like hooking people in. You start with a hook, you jump right in, you start with a story. So I was in this presentation where this expert was speaking. He was on the marketing team that was pitching the city of Boston for the Olympics. So that's how it's not necessarily a lottery system. They do it. I guess it's like a points-based system in the way that they choose cities to.
Yeah, it's like how equipped they are to actually prepare for it, how much their bid is, and like their pitch.
Mm-hmm. And so he started off by just using descriptors for the city of Boston and the people of Boston, and then went in to tell the story of how it was to be there during the bombing during the Boston Marathon, and how that has impacted the city and how they recovered from that, using the phrase Boston Strong as like a, this thing that like tied them all together, and then continue to use that to pitch. I feel like storytelling is so extremely effective, and I wonder if it hits on empathy. Like it must.
Neurally? I wonder. It would be so difficult to like get an actual read on like what that is. So like the areas that are activated when you would be sharing like common ground with someone and hitting on that sort of stuff. It's like the parietal cortex and a little bit of like frontal areas and stuff like that. Association cortex. So, I don't know. Because like, where is empathy in your brain? There's like some...
Yeah, I think it's more of like a mirror function, but...
Yeah, but mirror neurons where?
Yeah,
what I mean? Like, just one of the several billion in your brain. Yeah, I don't know. But I would presume you're right that it's empathy-based kind of thing, because I wrote down a note that's related to the thing, because this Boston Strong that's such a smart way to get someone to be hooked into something, especially if they're from there. I was listening to a podcast to prep for this, and it was talking about a program in Texas that was trying to get them to stop littering. And it started out with like some owl that was like, what was it? Something about like give a hoot about the something. Anyways, it was like, don't give a hoot, don't pollute. Who's strong mouse? Rupert. Who are the other options? Or was it just Rupert?
Apparently just Rupert.
I love that. Anyway, so it was like, give a hoot, don't pollute. And the littering actually got worse after that. And they were like, what do? So they hired a bunch of specialists, some of which did some like psychological research and some like, environmental research about this, and found out who was predominantly doing the littering, and then appealed to them. So it turned out that it was men. What y'all doing?
What?
Fucking...
It was men who were littering? What?
Men destroying things, ruining things for fucking everybody.
Causing climate change?
Never. Elon Musk and his fucking scrubbed fucking rocket launch this morning with like 18,000 gallons of methane. No, we don't know her. Anyways. Got a nice word to tell you, Kiss. Oh yeah, keep it simple, stupid, is what Kiss means. But anyways, I will finish the story now. I found out it was men predominantly between like 25 and 46 or something, like the juicy age where you can afford to drive around in your truck and throw wrappers out the window, I guess. But they made one that apparently there's still billboards in this area of Texas that says don't mess with Texas. And mess as in don't make a mess with it. And because that group, that 35-year-old men in Texas are like very Texas strong, Texas proud, and that's part of like the culture and their identity, it was super effective. Like I think 75% or something reduction in their littering. I don't know like what the time span was, and I'm just repeating a story that I've heard. So this could just all be made up, but it sounds cool and truthy, and it was on a relatively reputable thing.
Sounds truthy.
I don't know. It was on a reputable podcast, so like whatever. I believe it. But anyways, that's like an appeal to, you know, someone knowing your audience, right?
100%.
Because like give a hoot, don't pollute. That's cute. It's memorable. Like I didn't write it down, and I
maybe
heard...
that demographic fucking hates owls, dude.
Motherfuckers with their twisty ass necks, see them behind them easily and shit.
Owl attacks are responsible for X% of deaths.
Owl attacks. I guess
that's actually a thing.
On human beings?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I was another podcast. I want to say it was like a criminal podcast or something. They were like trying to figure out the cause of death of this woman, and it was like she literally went outside to put the trash outside for like 5 minutes.
What, and just got like take it out?
Yeah. So what happens is they like come down, they'll like attack your head. I don't know why. Maybe they think it's like a small animal or something.
Probably
like
near
that.
a nest.
Maybe, exactly.
Yeah. I've been dive bombed by a crow.
Their talons are so sharp that they will like cut up people's heads, and like people like can die from that.
Imagine that cause of death, the owl scratches. But what would the slogan of your channel be? Well, okay, there would be a slogan for Vulgar Science and then a slogan for my unhinged bullshit solo. So, because like on Mondays, I guess we can explain that right now. On Mondays, we do this. We Vulgar Science. The topic is usually like kind of spicy. It's interactive. It's always Layla and I, or almost always, because she's going to be away next Monday and we're traveling and stuff.
Maybe we'll try it remote, but we'll see.
Maybe we'll try remote. Anyways, it's not always going to be that way, but that's like the formula here. So Vulgar Science, what would our saying be? Be vulgar, do science. Fuck around and find out. That one's already taken though.
Oh, true.
But I do like the fuck around and find out energy. I feel like that reflects...
We gotta work from that.
Fuck and find out.
Yeah.
That's vulgar. I am a Volcel right now, so it's not super branded, but I've been known to. I hate pigeons. I've been hit by a bird.
Go deeper with us. That's clever. I like that.
I like that too. Huh.
Prepares to find out.
Have you been fucking around, Astro Canuck?
Many people have said that the 90s was the era of fucking around and now is the era of finding out. And I, honestly, having grown up in the era of 9/11, the stock market crash of 2008, the Wall Street chaos. The
follow-up of a further recession after that.
Yes, exactly. President Donald Trump getting elected, and then the 2020 pandemic. I was like, my 26 years on this earth have been very much
add Y2K to that, and you've got me.
Yeah,
so,
very much finding out.
Yeah, I was reading my journals like recently because I was decluttering, and it was like, I don't know, 2014 or 2013 or something, and I was like, oh, it's been another of the best years of my life. I can't wait for the next one. I'm like, I can't remember the last time that I felt like that, like hiss.
Yeah.
Hate that. Another year? Ugh.
Oh my god. I think my joy peaked in middle school. Like,
I remember when I was 13, just like, I remember like a day where I was just like, I'm so happy. Life is great. And that's the last time I remember feeling that.
oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's all downhill from here, folks.
Love that.
Just kidding. Just kidding. It's great. Life is fun. It's wonderful. I love doing this. Abruptly changing the subject. How's the night been? Not too bad. Did you stream tonight? How have your streams been? I haven't been in since last Friday maybe? I can't remember. Yeah, hey, hi. This millennial is getting tired of finding out. Yeah.
100%.
I don't want to find out anymore. I don't want to reap the repercussions of many generations worth of excess.
Add climate change to that too, right?
Well, that's reaping the benefits of the excess. Like the Industrial Revolution, yes, we could drive cars. Oh no, the world's on fire.
Oh no, the world's on fire.
It's true. Australia lights on fire all the time. British Columbia lights on
Is
fire.
that because of climate change?
Yes!
Oh yeah, okay. The wildfires on the west coast, yeah.
BC on fire every year. It rains ash in Calgary. I had to get my snow brush out in August to brush off my car from ash from the wildfires in British Columbia. And might I note that there is a mountain range between British Columbia and Alberta. Yeah. So do what you will with that. Fucking who else catches on fire? California does.
Yeah,
They
pretty much the entire west coast do.
Yeah, and earthquakes. That happens. Tsunamis. We find it out.
I was gonna say earthquakes are. It's not because of.
No, earthquakes aren't because of climate change. Well, fracking. It can.
BP oil spill. That was a thing.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think they've just stopped seeing like the negative effects of the BP oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico, like recently in the past couple of years.
Not tonight, Monday's off. But I can get to the grocery store faster. Shit's on fire, yo, fire speed. Mm-hmm. Oh, I like the little flamey guy. That's cool.
Not strap, right, high key.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. Lucky me that I can forget about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Zoinks.
It's so crazy that like nobody even talks about that in the news anymore. Like,
right.
Almost at all.
I was watching something about it relatively recently, though.
We just hit the 1 year anniversary of that within the past month and a half.
That might be
right?
right. There was content. There's a YouTuber that I follow called JJ McCullough. He's a Canadian content creator that like does political stuff, but also does like vexillology. Is that flags? That's flags, right? People that are into flags are vexillologists.
Why would it have such a complex name for flags?
I don't know, because like arachnophobia, couldn't it just be spider phobia?
Study
it's Latin roots. Flag people.
Flag? Study of flags. Flagology.
flag. See, flagology would be great. Studying flags. What did you say?
Study of flags.
Study flags.
Vexillology.
Did I say that?
Vexillology.
Vexillology? I said that at least one of the things that came out of my mouth was vexillology.
I think you added a couple
vexillology. Anyways, what did you call me? I need to know who studies flags. Okay, so anyways, this YouTuber, the whole reason I started talking about this is because apparently expats, Russian expats that are in favor of not invading Ukraine and of Russia being like cool, are wanting to take the red out of the Russian flag because the red is representative of the sea of blood in a lot of people's kind of symbolic versions of this. Like, I don't think that's officially what it's for. I don't know. But the red on the bottom of that, and I believe Bulgaria's flag is also, the red on the bottom is meant to be a sea of blood and like the, from trying to gain independence, presumably in a bunch of wars and just general happenings that are garbage.
What does that mean for the States, bro? 13 red stripes?
Oh, I don't think we need to dig too deep to find that. There were some V's and X's. Sorry. You're good. Yeah. What did you call me? Yeah. Common grounds and belief systems. So, okay. This is why, with going back to the storytelling thing and the neural entrainment. So, the reason that the stories work is because you understand them the same. But the problem with that is everyone has their own context. So they gave the example of priming someone by telling person one, it's a like story from J.D. Salinger. They give them like a sentence from it. And part of it is the text, "Have you seen my wife?" And they prime some of the people with the husband is really like violently jealous, and they prime the other people with the wife is having an affair, and tell them the exact same content in the exact same like context of stuff except for those two things. And you could see how that would be really differently received to be like, "Have you seen my wife?" Mm-hmm. Thinking that the speaker is a really jealous person versus that they're looking for someone that is missing, that is having an affair, right?
Exactly.
So this is why the keep it simple, stupid, or tell it to me like I'm five thing works, because you take out as much as you can that can be misinterpreted or interpreted alternatively to what your intent is. So like the more basic and the more common ground that you can get, the better, right? In any form of communication. So if you're trying to like talk to someone and it's, you know, it's going to be adversarial, you can always start out with like, so I think we can both agree that
this is true.
like this isn't working. Like if you're firing someone, or if, you know, like you're trying to break up with someone, I think we can both agree that something's, you know, not connecting the same way. And again, that engenders people to like be more kosher with you, you know?
Yeah, I definitely use that tactic when I'm getting into disagreements. I do love a you know, spicy debate, so I always acknowledge where I'm like, this is like what you're, I agree with this part of what you're saying, and then ultimately you'll get down to like the semantics of like where you disagree. If it's something that's like obviously not super duper emotionally charged. But no, I agree, and there's a lot of you know, methods to communication of people saying, oh, sandwich things in between compliments. So like when you're giving, you know, negative feedback or critique, you know, just to keeping on good terms. Like people might be actively seeking feedback from you, but you know, people respond to positivity most of the time. Like I go out of my way when I'm like mentoring my students to be like, okay, this is what you did well, and then like lead with that, and then be like, okay, these are the things that we need to change, and then be like, but overall, like, nice first attempt, or like nice work, nice job, because it's, you know, no one wants to be just torn down all the fucking time.
Works in the bedroom too. It does. Like, listen, loved it when you were doing this, but you totally missed.
You're not wrong.
100%. I've read that in a fucking Cosmo article, I swear to God.
I'm screaming.
Like, ayo, the shit sandwich. Truth. Yeah, you know what? We got to keep it vulgar in here. It's about, you know, nice conversations with people and, you know, philosophical debates, but it's also about, like, get yours. You know?
It's true.
You gotta get it. I love it. I'm so happy that emo got approved. Like, oh, finally. It's so good.
Honestly, that meme format is one of my favorite things to come out of the internet.
Too, yeah,
because it's just the insane fucking expression on Pedro Pascal's face.
Man, he did a photo shoot for Esquire recently, and they there was a reel or something like that was part of a visual ad campaign, and it starts out with like a busted fire hydrant and then just a bunch of like really sexy pictures, and I was like about to go into, I'm like, I want to see how many people have liked a comment that will say something like, I'm the fire hydrant. And it was hundreds. And I'm like, yes, every girl on planet Earth that's in fucking Pedro land right now is
Sploosh.
like, me, fire hydrant, basement flooded.
Can we talk about the fact that he is like in everything all of a sudden? There's the meme of him dancing to the dun 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 dun, where he's like, people put it over top of like just like a background, and it's just him. There's that meme format. There's this meme format. There's the one of him crunching on like this, what is it, like a tea sandwich, like a little triangle sandwich. Yeah. And then also he's in the fucking Merge Mansion ads, which is like, I'm like, what? This man just like fucking Last of Us just blew him into outer space. Like, it's so crazy.
Yeah. It's pretty sweet. And it was a really good show, deservedly so. Like, he's so talented, and like, I don't know. He's daddy. There's a reason we haven't talked about the daddy list in a minute. If anyone has candidates for the daddy list or the mommy list, let us know. Chunky Daddy biscuits.
Popeye's biscuits, baby.
Yeah, so you can prime your audience and coupling with other people, which is kind of what I was talking about before, like, you know, if you start a thing, like, if it's early in the morning or if it's just after lunch, and, like, getting everybody kind of, like, on the same page with you and that sort of thing is always, like, beneficial. You know?
Yeah, finding common ground, like we were just talking about.
Yeah.
100%.
Do it. Just do it. Yeah.
Just do it!
Oh my god.
Just do it!
I hate Shia LaBeouf so fucking much.
Why? Because of the...
Yeah.
Okay. His controversy?
Oh, I was watching this guy talking about digital communication versus analog communication, which was pretty nifty, but as, like, I don't know. It's cool because, like, he was talking a lot about, like, body cues and stuff like that, and how you, like, miss out on that in a lot of, like, digital communications, which is, of course, why, you know, video is really nice and stuff like that. But one of the things that he said that, like, really resonated with me is, like, you can never not communicate. Like, not communicating is communicating. You know what I mean? Like, the silent treatment is a communication.
Not like so much communication is nonverbal signals. 100%.
Like, so much of it, and you lose so much of it. And I think, like, that's part of why a lot of, like, dating apps and stuff like that aren't as successful, because you lose a ton of context, right? Which is, like, you know, it's not that it's insurmountable. You can definitely bond with people that way, but you're missing, like, a richness to it. And we had talked, I think it was, I can't remember which stream it was, but Chrono Triggers was talking about, like, the whole dating and AI thing, or, like, you know, like the movie Her and stuff like that, and whether or not that could actually be fulfilling for people that don't find, like, actual interpersonal relationships, like, doable. And I'm like, I don't think that would ever be able to take,
like, ChatGPT is my boyfriend.
Yeah, you've seen the movie Her. That's basically what the plot of the movie Her is, but flip the gender. But
oh my god.
Anyways, but I think, like, the lack of context and lack of, like,
humans are, like, very social animals, to the point that, like, just seeing, like, text on a screen or hearing a voice, like, Alexa's super fucking annoying, but, like, you know what I mean, like, that. I don't know.
Well, look, when we figured out...
That's not enough.
When we figured out how to go online and talk to each other without actually having to be around each other, everyone was, like, losing their shit, right? This is, like, forever ago. And then what did we do?
AOL?
Exactly. Then what did we do? We started going colon right
Emojis.
bracket. We started doing that basic-ass emoticon thing, and then people were like, oh, we really want to see that? We want to see facial expressions. We want to do these things. And then we've circled back around into, like, a simulacrum of what the original thing is actually doing. And then we have a facial expression of a guy in a movie doing a thing that's reflective of how we're feeling as we're on screen being viewed. But, like, it's getting really meta up in here, but you know what I mean? Like, we're so desperate for that non-verbal, non-word-based communication.
Well, like, think about, like, how, like, so many people communicate in, like, with sarcasm and irony. You cannot communicate irony just with text. It's not possible. But OKDK had a really good point. They said they have apps for that already. I think virtual girlfriends. Yeah. There's an AI VTuber or just YouTuber anyway, called Neurosama on Twitch, who is very entertaining to watch too. What?
There's an AI that has a Twitch.
What?
Virtual YouTuber, VTuber. Learn something new every day. All right. I don't even know how that, like, okay. I was talking about I think it was my Friday stream that I was talking about this, because there's been, like, there was an app called Replica with a K that, like, came out several years ago and it still exists, and it's like your little AI buddy kind of thing. Like, it's like an auto chat sort of thing. But, like, also, you can't fuck an app. You know? You can't hug an app. You can't cry in the app, the shoulder app shoulders. You know?
Yeah, but you could, like, get things that embody that. Like
that's
like,
what Chrono Triggers was talking about.
I was gonna say
dolls.
like AI sex dolls like that.
Yeah.
Like it could be close. It could be close.
He wants us to do, and I don't know if there would be enough content to fill a whole episode about that, but he suggested doing an episode about that. Yeah,
sex dolls.
Like
we could
human relationships outside of obviously the no ones, but
we could talk about sex surrogates, which in the old days were used in sex therapy.
Such a good idea.
Yeah,
you guys would be into that, right? Would you guys be into that? Sex surrogates?
Yeah.
Oh, also, I think we should talk about ghosting. I made a little note earlier today. Sex surrogates.
Yeah, that's in like the sex therapy realm.
Gato is Spanish for cat.
It is. I didn't know that.
I didn't. I learned that recently.
Surrogatos.
Yeah. I said surrogates, and then I was like, gato. I'm trying to learn Spanish because I'm going to Spain. So.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that
I'm
for
on like
you.
day 3, and I'm just like, something una manzana. Listen, it's Duolingo. I'm going to learn how to say my apple is in the library, and people are going to be like, what?
Manzana. Dime la manzana.
Fully AI. That's not entirely true. Spicy. Wait, what's not entirely true? That you can't fuck an app? Where are you going to put it? Show me. Does it fit here? Because, like, no. This ain't going to do it from... No. You can't fuck
Yeah,
it
but
up.
it's not gonna be on your phone. Like there, you know what I mean? Like.
But that's why I'm saying it will never be anywhere near as enriching, because even if I have the best AI boyfriend, if he don't go downstairs with his mouth, I'm divorcing him.
I was gonna say, what if somebody who's like maybe ace and like does asexual and like maybe I don't know, like suffers from like social awkwardness or is on the spectrum? Like I feel like.
There's a place.
It would fit a purpose, you know what I mean? Like, obviously somebody who's like sexually active is never going to be like fully fulfilled by like a virtual, you know, this is like a fucking sex doll, but anyways.
Yeah. It definitely has a purpose, and no shade to people that would like use it, but it would never be the full experience. I think that you have to have a physical body to have the full experience, and that body has to be autonomous.
Yeah.
I think. But like that's just how I feel as a human being. I don't know that that's necessarily correct.
I was gonna say, I feel like there
nor
might be
would
people
I
who would
assert.
get off on something not being autonomous though.
Oh yeah, I think a lot of people probably are out there. Bro, that's incredibly bizarre. Truly an aware moment. I'm assuming we're not too far from AI apps and dolls being combined.
GL with the string. Oh, good luck. Thanks.
Thank you. Long time no see, Water. You acting like there aren't Bluetooth toys. No, okay. You guys are mistaking my meaning. I'm saying like replace whole partner with non-human, even multiple non-human things. You would like it would never ever be the full experience. Even if you got like a magic fucking dick on a sex doll with fiddle fingers and shit like that, could it cook you dinner? Can it cook you dinner? Is it a robot? Like, are we like?
Like,
have you guys seen that episode of fucking Black Mirror? Do you guys want that episode of Black? You know the episode of Black Mirror I'm talking about.
Which one are you talking about?
The one with Donald Gleason. Be right back. It's the one where the guy dies and she gets an AI doll and it sucks because it's Black Mirror.
Oh.
Y'all want that?
Yeah.
You don't want that. Even when he was the exact same. And also like Ex Machina. I mean, I would totally get with Alicia Vikander, not only because of the narcissism implied in having sex with a beautiful woman who has my name, but also because Alicia Vikander is Alicia Vikander, and oh my god.
Would you get a sex doll of yourself?
Jesus Christ, no. I don't need to be any more body critical than I am. I'd be like, oh.
That's like an episode of Broad City where this gay girl falls in love with somebody who looks exactly like her. And
so
people said the best sex of my life.
People said that Tatiana and I looked similar.
Disagree.
She's smoking hot, so I was like,
hot. I agree.
Holy crap, was she hot? If it weren't so super unethical, I would show you guys how hot she is, and you guys would be like, whoa, you know? Anyways, it's fine. She's really hot. Middle fingers. Ah. Oh, a replacement.
Messy.
This is stuff been going on in certain circles in Japan for nearly a decade now. Sex bots are the future. Fiddle fingers. You are in a different time zone, so it's kind of hard to catch all the streams, but the streams are still amazing. Thank you, Water. That's very kind. We appreciate the effort, and, you know, even watching the VODs, and, you know, you can pop into Discord whenever you want if you want to chit-chat or suggest something that you want to hear. I'll try and do it for you.
Okay, but think like...
You're like sex dolls.
Well, no, I was like, okay, boyfriend pillow to hug that can be warmed up. So, like, you know, it's got, like, the beanbag thing in it, so you can, like, put it in the oven and warm it up. And then...
You talking about, like, a sac magique, but a big body-sized one?
Yeah, well, yeah, like, you know, but, like, the boyfriend pillow that has, like, the weird arm on it, too. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay, I only know that from having watched Glee as a child, but anyways.
Oh, I was too old for Glee. Age.
It is actually a thing. I think it's actually, like, so
I've heard of it,
yeah,
but yeah, anyways.
I've seen on TV type shit.
Yeah.
Plus... Because, okay, think about, like, AI obviously has the ability to learn. So if you were to use a sex toy that had an AI function, and then it could adapt to your interests and your tastes.
Have you ever used the womanizer? I don't need it to get better.
An algorithm that you enjoyed? That would be insane. I feel like, I don't know.
To make it faster? Because it doesn't need to be faster.
Not faster. Like, to have it understand what you like or don't like. Like,
sure.
It learns what you like and don't like.
I see where you're going, and I think...
A Bluetooth toy?
Yeah, no, I like, Bluetooth, that's like, from 1995. But, no, okay, like, I get what you mean, but I'm also, like, part of this is, like, an individual difference that I think is where, like, my resistance comes from, is that part of what's exciting about things is, like, the unsureness, the uncertainty of, like, that's why new relationships are so exciting compared to, like, the same old, you know, like, that's that tired line about, thank you.
Well, like, about falling in love is exciting and being in love is boring.
Yeah, well, and I'm not saying that's true, but I'm saying that there's probably a reason for that. Whoa.
Chrono Triggers came
Oh, hey, Chrono Triggers.
Conversation.
Were you here enough to see? I have to blow my nose.
Hey, 3
Sorry,
a.m.
I'm going off camera because I have to blow my nose. I can feel a booger.
I'm screaming. Okay. Having watched this for a while now, I feel like you guys are missing the point a bit with AI fulfillment. The proper term academically for what this top term of AI is hypermass datafication model, or HMDM, and the designs for general purpose algorithmic interactions is, jargon is to supplement some base functions, not total fulfillment, and the industry as we currently know it does address most of this already.
So I don't really understand what that means, but...
He's saying that it's meeting just certain needs, but it's not giving a holistic...
Which realistically a real partner doesn't do either, if we're being honest, right? Like, a real partner doesn't do everything. Your partner shouldn't be every single thing. Like, you know, you should get some nurturing from your parents, some camaraderie from your friends, some guidance from your mentors. If that's all in a partner, that's fucked. You know what I mean? Like, that's a little... Like, you can get aspects of those things, but, like, you should broaden your horizons. You know what I mean? But I still think... Like, again, no shade. It just wouldn't do it for me. I wouldn't like I want to know that, like, a living, breathing thing wants me and that it's not there because it's programmed to be. Or that it's not doing it because it's programmed to be.
So you get off on being wanted?
Abso-fucking-lutely. Who doesn't? Who doesn't like to be desired? We talked about that. Yeah. Desire being a huge part of arousal when we had whatever episode it was, right?
I feel like I... fucked a lot of guys in college, literally, because they were interested in me.
That's a completely different story. That is a completely different ball of wax, and there's some gender norms and some patriarchy in there, but, like, you know, if we're, like, getting to, like, what we now as mature ladies know what we like and stuff like that, it's much funner to do it with someone that wants to do it with you. If you go too far in the other direction, that's just not even allowed, you know? To do it with someone that doesn't want to do it with you.
Yeah, that's definitely
that's the R word.
Big old no-go.
Yeah. So in any event, like, the fact that continuum exists, I think wherever you fall in that continuum, with the exception of that very far bad end, is completely fine as long as things are consensual. But for me, I like a mutual enthusiasm. I want both of us to be a hell yes, because, like, the whole ride along, you know, not just at the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah. But again, I think that for people who you know, there's an entire, like, if we're gonna, you know, go broad here, there's an entire, like, incel community that could maybe find fulfillment and fulfill certain needs with these, you know, technological solutions.
We should do an episode on incels because I got some research recently.
Okay.
I read research like 2 days ago about incels versus wall cells.
And it would, like, maybe make them less, like, incel-y. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it would, like, benefit them and, like, make them...
And the world?
Okay, calm down. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah. But what you were saying, like, data learning in machines is good, but can be something else or just something totally different. That'd be a great deal to put on a person. Nobody should be your everything. Yeah, Esther Canuck. Exactly. That's like what I'm getting at. Yeah, that's an unreasonable burden, and lots of people do that. Like that's a, you know, trauma dumping kind of like thing. People, that does happen, and that's a really toxic aspect of a lot of relationships, which is like a completely different direction to take that. But each of these algorithms are becoming more and more customized as time goes on, so much so the industry is making entire lines of artificial interactions based on time
periods and period pieces.
I don't really know what.
I'm not understanding that.
Yeah,
like,
can you tell it to... Well, we're talking about communication.
Yeah.
We're not understanding. Tell it to me like I'm 5. No
Yeah.
jargon. We're teaching how to communicate better.
Yeah, true.
In vivo, right now.
Literally what I'm imagining right now is like AI Victorian sex scenes, but like I don't.
I know. I was just. I was like a period.
Downton
like,
Abbey, but AI. Like.
Right. Yeah, the questions start to get more philosophical the deeper you go, and as we talked about, yeah, philosophy can get like really esoteric and like it gets circular, right? You know, and sometimes people just want to prove a point, and it's like, okay, you have your point, whatever. Ooh, Dougylicious,
nice.
3 a.m. inside tea. Thank you for the gifted sub, Doug. I love you. But how making a line of products can itself in definition not be applied in custom form? There are already AI therapists and stuff that can learn Neuronaut, hey, learn emotional needs from tone of voice, etc. Interesting where this could go
Does it just not matter if something is AI if it can provide some connection?
100%. Here's the thing. For some people, probably myself included, just the knowledge that it's AI would detract from it. And I'm not saying that because I think that it should. I'm saying for me, it would. Not in a judgmental sort of way. If it does the job, it does the job for some people. But much like the placebo effect, it doesn't work the same on everybody, right? And like certain, like just even medications that aren't placebo, you know, for me, that would be a mental block. I would always know. It would be like paying someone to be with you, which again, no shade. I'm pro sex work if that's what you want to do, if you are participating in sex work. But for me, knowing that I would be paying for intimacy or, you know, that sort of thing, that's the tonal difference that would, I'm not saying I couldn't enjoy it. I'm saying I would enjoy it more if I knew that it was autonomous and organic.
If somebody was choosing to do that for you. Like your will was, quote unquote, winning out over someone else's in a way.
Well, your girl loves power, but...
I was going to say that you've convinced them to love you. You know?
Well, yeah, no one wants to have to manipulate someone into loving you, right? But knowing that the compatibility is there, not because it's designed to be there. I believe a little bit in like fate-ish things, but I also believe in just like two people actually liking each other and working on things and wanting to be there, and that desire to participate in someone's life mutually is really emotionally fulfilling for a lot of people, especially women. So, and I like that. I want someone to like be jazzed to hear about my day and, you know, want to take my mind off things, you know? Listen, keep it vulgar, keep it science.
I was going to say, every time you do a sexual innuendo, you start to do, like, the old-timey voice.
Oh, yeah, why don't you come over here and... I did not want to say that.
the
I'm not
fucking-
getting clipped doing
the
that.
Mae West voice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Some people get off by paying for it, and no shade. This is a safe space. I am not kink shaming anybody, as we talked about in the fetishes episode. Whatever does it, as long as you're not hurting anybody else that doesn't want to be hurt, then go for it. But like, I'm just saying what I would be missing out on, and I think that I represent a lot of people in my realm. Robots, as you know them, can basically assume any actor in their virtual space. I guess to more generally say it with less accuracy is that the idea of acting has been very successfully put into code and acted upon through AI. This implication has already had wide-ranging effects where we use HMDM models to fake voices, video recordings, and other augmented realities. Doesn't that get a little uncanny valley at some point? Like, it has to, though. You know what I mean?
People do say ChatGPT produces good paragraphs of text that sound like normal human speech. They're already doing like those videos where it's like
It's a person and it's not the real person.
Well, yeah, it's like content creation of like you have to like quote unquote find the mole or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's ChatGPT is the mole and people like take forever to guess who it is.
Yeah. I'm not saying that they're not sophisticated. I admit that they're sophisticated. I'm saying I don't want that to be the reason that that something's working well.
Yeah.
That takes away the shine for me.
I was gonna say, I think, yeah, for you, there's like this like autonomous choice aspect that is like
Huge
really,
thing.
really, really important to
Yeah,
you.
top tier.
But I think that I think there's
It's
been
not for
many,
everybody.
I was gonna say many points that have been made that show that like there's obviously value to this. It's not like just
Big time, yeah. Go for it. Like, again, no shade and like value added, and I'm pro that. I'm just saying one more for me. Megatron doesn't need to be a gun to take over the world. He needs to provide a shoulder to cry on.
Vibes.
Okay, DK comes through.
Yes.
Legit. I would prefer if he didn't become a gun, actually, and if he became like a little.
You actually want to know something? They, The Mandalorian actually made this like very interesting think piece where they also managed to feature Lizzo and Jack Black as like characters in the show.
That's where Lizzo got the
the cameo.
Yeah.
So they like showed up on this show as like the acting was questionable at best, but that's beside the point. But they essentially said, okay, we've repurposed all of these droids, so these like robots, to do all of like the jobs and tasks, like collecting garbage and
No spoilers.
I'm not gonna do spoilers.
When did this come out?
I'm setting
Okay,
up
you
the
said
think
spoilers.
piece.
No spoilers.
It's not a spoiler.
When did it come out? More than a month ago?
No, it was last week.
Oh. Yeah. Spoiler alert, mute. We'll tell you when we're off. We'll give you a thumbs up if you want to mute, and she's going to continue to talk about it. So.
Yes, Pedro Pascal, as we know. Anyways, so okay, sorry. I'm not spoiling anything. I'm just setting it up. You learn everything about this in the first 3 minutes of the episode. But essentially, they've set up all of these droids to essentially do like the menial like work tasks of.
Love that.
So like collecting garbage and like
Delicious.
working shipyards and like being maids and all this stuff. And they say, oh, it frees up the intellectual space of humans to like appreciate art and like learn and expand knowledge and like I think I don't know where I was making that point, why I was making that point, but it was relevant at some point with like the use of AI and how at some point like everyone keeps saying, oh, robots are going to take all of our jobs. Like it's possible that might actually happen, and maybe for the better.
We were talking about Megatron, and I want.
Oh, yeah.
That's where we.
Yeah. So just robots are going to be all of our therapists in the next,
I'm
10
fine
years.
with that. I am fine with utility, even if it is partially interpersonal or sexual or whatever. I'm just saying that, like, I think. Don't get me twisted here. All for it. I just don't want to date one. Like, I just don't want to date a robot. That's just fine to be okay with. Like, don't feel attacked. Don't be soft boys.
Scroll.
I forget where we were. Unfortunately, I think that this will not lead to furthering of people's understandings, but rather in obtuse fashion led people into an even more filtered online space. That's my fear, greater and greater disconnection. I have a coworker that looks forward to going home and just holding conversations with ChatGPT. He feels more connected to it than most people. And that's amazing, especially like the whole reason that we started talking about this is because you miss body language when you don't have a body to read language off of, right? Yeah. So it's amazing that that exists, and I think it's really cool that humans have adapted to this like new space where it's harder to connect with someone in real life. So in absence of that being something that's kind of forced upon you because you have, like, all jobs are not, like, pretend computers didn't exist. We used to have to go to the grocery store and run into your neighbors if you live in a small town or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, we're increasingly able to be far away from other people's physical bodies very easily. So it's nice that we found a way to adapt and reconnect in the ways that these people are describing, right? But, you know, it's one of those things that can be a double-edged sword and can take a nasty turn. But like any tool, there's good and bad ways to use it, like the internet. We use it for amazing things like this. People also use it to like hack, I don't know, people probably use it for evil all the time, like hacking elections and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like... Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm picking hyperbolic examples for effect, but like there's tools are only what people use them as. Like they aren't inherently evil or good. This is very philosophical.
Yeah, really philosophical.
Oh boy, chrono triggers.
Sorry, but
the president.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the thesis is at the bottom here.
Okay,
good.
To
be clear, I'm not saying that they will replace people. I'm saying that creative spaces in which people will exist will drive people further and further apart. Please reread my full dialogue. I feel like that statement is placing value on humans having to be in person. Like, what's that film that I think Bruce Willis was in, and it was like a decade ago, where people had like body surrogates, like they had clones that they literally from like the safety of their own homes, they like controlled like a...
Isn't that kind of like San Junipero episode of Black Mirror?
Oh, a bit, yeah.
Like, again, all of these things can be for good or for evil, right? Like, I could see ways where they would be really touching. Like, San Junipero is one of the best episodes of Black Mirror, but you can see how it could go the wrong way, right? And, like, I don't think that we're actually, like, I don't know, maybe I am missing your point, chrono triggers, which, sorry. I just am not entirely sure what it is. But in any event, I'm not anti or pro any of these things.
Technology.
Really. Well, I mean, I'm pro technology. Hello. Hi. It's like I fucking love
fucking Twitch.
I love my phone. I love my vibrator. I love my pink mic. Like, hello.
Is your vibrator also pink?
No.
No?
No.
Mine is. I have a pink one and a purple one.
Blue, white, black, blue and white. Reddish colored? Like, it's not pink. It's kind of like a funky red.
Funky red.
That's it. Anyways, yeah, all for it. I see the sense there. If they can help people, why not? Yeah, like, for sure. I'm like all for it. Don't get me wrong here.
Statement before
what you claimed you may or may not find use in them. Oh, we missed one? Sorry.
Yeah. There's a lot of text in this chat.
Oh, whoa.
This one?
I guess one thing I should say that I was not addressing your personal use of HMDM models or whatever fulfillment of what you need. I don't even know what that sentence means. Whether it be as supplementary to daily tasks or as a virtual assistant or someone to fulfill a deep desire from childhood or adolescence, these language models could have potential. Hell yeah. I was never arguing against that. Again, I think there's utility for them. And there's utility for... I use ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT to prepare for the stream. So, like, I'm pro this. in the ways that I find utility. But like, I don't think there's a right or a wrong way to interact with AI or want it to be a part of your life. I don't know that that's something that needs to be adversarial. But yeah, the whole idea of like surrogate bodies, would you like be able to pick it? Like, who would play you in a movie kind of thing? But like, who would be your body surrogate?
Well, I was gonna say the surrogate is just like a clone of yourself. So it's like essentially like
I would love to have it.
It's like a cat has like 9 lives, but like you get an extra life because like your surrogate dying, it's not autonomous, right?
Okay.
So your surrogate dying is just like you get an extra shot at life because if your surrogate gets like shot, like mugged or something like that, like it's not your actual body that's dying.
Huh.
Which I
kind
think
of like
I think
a
is what,
Horcrux.
I was gonna say this is what kind of like happens to him in the movie, if I'm not mistaken. But how did ChatGPT do compared to the real deal? The only use I know of ChatGPT, given that I work in an academic context, is that students use it to cheat on their essays, and then they end up being like not very good. Like you can't like cite sources with it or anything.
Well, and also there's like flags in it that like, I can't remember what it's called. There's some sort of like phrase, like nonsense phrases or something. There's a word for it that are like indicative of it being generated by an AI. It's not super easy to catch. People are trying to build an AI to catch when people are composing words with AI, and
you can just plug text into ChatGPT and say, "Did you compose this?"
But it's not very accurate, is the thing. So
really?
they're developing them. There's multiple ones, including ChatGPT itself, but it's not super accurate. That's the thing. Is like it's probably as accurate as any plagiarism checker is that you just like plug stuff into, because like it's only as good as basically copy paste and a whole bunch of font.
Like you use ChatGPT to produce that piece of text, and you plug that like we'll say like a paragraph or like a whole essay. You plug that back in and say, "Did you make this?"
Well, surely it would know if it itself made it. If it didn't, that would be a crap AI, in my opinion, knowing jack shit about AI. Altered Carbon also touches on this idea. I tried to watch that and it didn't jive. I like that actor though. What else was he in? I really liked him in whatever else. The absurdity of that language models generates are fun. Yes, exactly. I've never used it, but could you use it for the use or meaning of what happens if you place... I think you could. I've never tried it for something so specific, but I've say like when we were doing the therapies episode, I said ChatGPT lists the top 10 most recently developed theories and describe them in a short paragraph or therapies.
Oh, okay.
I said theories, sorry. When we were doing the therapies episode, or when we were doing the dreams episode, I was just like, what are the 10 most prominent theories of why we dream? And then I just for prompts for me to have keywords to look for when I do my actual organic research. And I think that that's a hella great tool. All for it. Like, especially if everybody has equal access to the tool.
100%.
Right? Oh, hi.
Welcome. Ale?
Giacinto.
Giacinto?
I don't know. I'm trying to be Italian, I guess. Sorry.
You is Giacinto.
ChatGPT is just a statistical model. How was that? Never got around to watching it.
Oh yeah, Mando spoilers were over forever ago. Okay. DJ,
oh, sorry.
Sorry, we probably should have.
We said that we were gonna give a thumbs up. I don't even watch the fucking thing. For all I know, this is all a spoiler.
As soon as you started talking, I was like, okay, now we're
sorry. Jesse, let's cook. Cook.
I think it's cook. Let him cook.
Oh.
But there's an extra C in there, so it says let's cook.
Yeah. Get a grip. I enjoyed season 1, kind of got sidetracked and never finished the last episode or 2 of the season. Safe. Okay, cool. There's no formal proof behind AI. What does that even mean? Proof of what? This is okay. When people start to talk about AI, especially people that are really into AI, I start to like get into the
crab hands right now.
I get into crab hand zone where I'm like, that's what the crab hands are, like
shadow puppets.
Like, and it's not that I don't find it interesting. It's that I find that the disconnect between me being able to fundamentally understand the basics of what is being talked about is like it. I'm gonna stop. Never mind.
Well, Sean just brought up Bayesian statistics, which
no,
which exactly like
rejected.
I was gonna say we don't even learn Bayesian statistics in a lot of our statistical classes. So
I had to. I
like,
forgot it all.
I literally had to like sit down with him, this man who has never been to university, so he's like, I don't understand normal statistics, and I had to sit down through the Wikipedia article of Bayesian statistics and be like, okay, this is what I am gleaning from like what this means and what do these terms mean. But essentially I think it's just like it is statistical model that essentially it, because a lot of our models are you test the null hypothesis, right? And with this, it's actual predictive probability. So you use Bayesian statistics to build AI algorithms that predict behavior. And if you have enough data, you can accurately predict behavior and accurately predict how people respond to things because of...
if you have accurate and representative data,
100%.
which is nearly impossible to get, might I remind people. But yeah, I mean, I think here is a good place to segue back to communication and say that was an amazing explanation, first of all. And if you can't explain something simply, you don't understand it well enough is usually like a pretty good kind of like, not you don't understand it well enough because there's no standard, you don't have to know anything, but if you're needing to communicate it to someone, when I'm like trying to teach my students how to present and stuff like that, I always tell them like the better that you know it, like if you can explain it simply, then it's reflective of how well you know the topic, and you know that's, if you can't get your point across, then why are you still going?
Well, yeah,
you
exactly.
Know what I mean?
If only a minority of people is understanding what you're saying.
But that
like,
happens so much in presentations. They'll be like, "What? Yeah, obviously this is showing this." I'm like, "What? No." Yeah. Or like, "As you can see," and I'm like, "No. What? Tell me what to see. Tell me." It's like it's the presenter's job. It's the communicator's job to get their point across. And a lot of people get frustrated when like their point isn't getting across. Do you know what I mean? And it's something where like the onus is on the offerer kind of thing, and in presentations, in presenting, in communications and that sort of thing, it's so easy to get out of that. You know what I mean? Yeah. You're just talking about machine learning, right? Yeah, I was gonna say that what you described is like open machine learning. I can't remember. Open or closed.
Like I think so. Like, but like people use machine learning and AI essentially like interchangeably in pop culture, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and probably erroneously, but again, getting to the common denominator when you're communicating, if that's our common denominator, then you gotta get on that level if you want us to understand, right? That's and I don't say us like it, you know, but the receiver of the information can only receive what you give them, right? Yeah. They can't extract what's going on in your head. So even if it makes sense to you super well, you can't count on it making sense to other people. Like it's just impossible. But what is this little vloop noise that keeps happening? Is that Discord?
Maybe.
Yeah, it's vloop. Here we go. Vloop. Vloop. I don't know if it's our vloop.
That should be our sound from now.
Vloop. And it rhymes kind of with goo, which I had goo.
You're fucking chia seed goo, bro. The fact that you ate some, like, oh.
I had chia seeds in the lab today. Goopy as shit. Love it. Gooey.
I don't understand how you can, like, texturally...
I love it. It's like tapioca pudding. Some people don't like it. I get it.
I was gonna say I don't fuck with boba specifically for that reason.
That's one of those things. Like some people don't like stuff like crumpets or things with like holes in them and stuff like that.
Oh, well, that's because people have like trypophobia. But like But like I'm like very weird about
cottage
like,
cheese,
squishy textures. So cottage cheese mixed with other things, but just cottage cheese by itself. Oatmeal, I don't do like. Yeah.
Okay, we're behind.
The term AI here simply because it's a popular term. Exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
Conversation has shifted more or less into implications. Yeah, yes, you are correct in the formal proof of intelligence has never been met by a machine, where a machine can assume, interpret action, and accurately respond to a test. What we know is intelligence. Yeah, I'm like, maybe I'm wrong, but like I feel like it would be very difficult for like a machine to like use irony, right? Because like how do you teach a machine to use ironic statements of like, this is what the actual meaning of this, but it's like the opposite, you know what I mean? Like I feel like that's very difficult.
Think how fast literal language changes. Like, especially like if Dougie Licious is still kicking. Yes, okay, here we go. Still kicking around, not still kicking. Sorry, I interrupted.
Has someone come in and murdered him?
He's so gay, he died. Anyways, what I'm about to say, so African American vernacular English and gay English, gay culture.
Yeah.
Like, I had to explain to my dad what reading was and reading to filth kind of thing. Yeah. And the fact that, like, language changes so fast that even if you could teach formal irony, like Shakespearean irony to an AI effectively, or a HM40i, whatever, HMDI? Which
HDMI.
I can't even say the wrong thing right. Alicia's loading again. She doesn't have AI. She has no eye.
Yeah, but like even like apparently these have been things for like 6 months plus, but I just learned what like Riz and like let 'em cook mean, and like these are like new like Gen Z terminology.
Let him cook being like let the person breathe and do their thing. Is that what let him cook?
Yes, I think like
that I've known about for so long because that comes from sports.
Really?
That's let Russ cook from, if anybody, okay, any football fans in here? Any American football fans? Let Russ cook. So Russell Wilson.
That people were saying. Okay.
People were saying that they need to give the quarterback. So Russell Wilson used to be the quarterback for the Seahawks. Now he's the quarterback for some garbage team.
Broncos.
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
I'm wrong about that.
That's what I meant by garbage team. Sorry, I'm a Pats fan. Is that not clear? Anyways. But the whole thing was let Russ cook, as in, like, don't put pressure on him, give him lots of space, protect the quarterback, and, like, let Russ cook, basically. And I think that's probably, it probably came from even before that, but that's where I know it from years ago. So, anyways. Dougie, you dead? Please don't. See, but even I'm dead. I'm dead?
Oh, yeah.
That's so recently became a thing that you say all the fucking time.
Yeah,
like, I'll say something that's, like, mildly funny. Layla will say with a deadpan expression, I'm dead.
I sometimes I just say dead.
Yeah, this is true. Right? But, like, try explaining that to a human being that's just trying to learn the English language.
I laughed so much I died.
That are getting, like, the contextual clues and the facial cues and stuff like that.
Wait, do you know what Riz means?
R-I-Z?
2 Z's, yeah.
Nope.
Can we play a guessing game of you guess what Riz means?
Sure.
We'll give you 3 guesses.
Okay, are you going to put it in no, you can't put it in a poll just for me. You could just ask me with your voice.
Yeah, I'm an idiot. Yep, I can, actually. We could do a poll. We could do, I don't know.
Do people know what Riz means?
People can put their guesses for what Riz means.
Can we put my guesses? Because and then, no, because then I'll know which one's the right one because you'll put the right one. So, okay.
So you want to play Balderdash with
I don't fucking know. Sure. Okay. First of all, because my mind is in the gutter and it's vulgar science, I was like, Riz rhymes with jizz. So, that's...
No, that's not it. I was going to say, could it be? But no, it's not.
Can you use it in a sentence, please? It's not a spellathon.
Yeah, right.
Or speak and spell. What is
Spelling bee.
Spelling bee.
A spellathon.
Listen, I don't know words for fucking anything. I don't know what Riz is. Like, for real? For Rizzle? My dizzle?
For shizzle? No.
Okay. I don't know.
One more time. One more guess.
One more. Okay. Yeah. Can you use it kind of like okay, is it used like in a sentence like, oh, I was blah 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 Riz, or
here,
is
we have some uses here.
You got mad Riz.
Oh.
Okay, I'm not looking.
Don't look at the bottom.
I'm mad Riz. Is that what that one said?
It said you got mad Riz.
You got mad Riz, pal. Like audacity. Like you got mad Riz.
That's pretty close. So Riz is 35 going on 65. Pretty much said it's
welcome,
it's like
Anne.
Swagger game. So like if somebody
like the razzle dazzle, the rizzle dizzle. Okay, yeah. Got the swag.
Rizzle dizzle for shizzle my hizzle. Yeah, essentially. So it's pretty much like it's like
swag.
Yeah. Like if you like, I think it's a game is like the closest word for it. So if like you are like really good at like hitting on people in a bar, it's like you got mad Riz, you got mad confidence, you got mad swagger.
Okay, so like charisma kind of thing?
Yeah.
Uniqueness?
What's your Riz
talent?
What's your Riz stat?
What's my Riz stat? My Riz stat is like, I don't know, it depends on who the target is.
You know what, I was actually thinking about that when you were talking about stories. I was like, that's why D&D is so successful, is it's just people sitting around all wildly hallucinating about the same story.
Yeah. It's so true. It's so much fun. I fucking love D&D. Okay, yeah. Riz, what do you think your Riz stat is? What do you guys think our Riz stats are? Give us Riz stats.
So you want to know something? Sean, we were living in my old apartment, Sean and his brother were on a...
You guys, he gave you stats, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They were
He
rating...
didn't come on here and give you stats?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think he was just on, like, they were, like, gaming and they were just, like, talking.
Yeah.
And they were like, we're going to give D&D stats for all of our family members. Right. And so my brother-in-law is like, oh yeah, Layla's got, like, mad charisma. Like, she's got, like...
Oh, charisma!
That's where it comes from.
Unlocked!
Stupid.
Oh no! Okay, anyways, so what were your stats? Your strength?
I honestly don't remember what the numbers were. But essentially, Sean pretty much said, oh, I know her better, and her charisma stat is lower than you think it is. I was like,
to who?
Damn bitch. To my brother-in-law, who was trying to say that I have really good charisma.
That you...
Well,
Sean...
He was pretty much saying that I'm an awkward fuck and that I am like I don't know how to talk
You're
to
utterly
people.
Charming.
Oh, thank you.
On what planet? I'm offended.
You're offended on my behalf.
Yes! I'm like pitbull status. Like, don't you say that about my girl? My girl got mad Riz. Sometimes I hate myself. We're so behind. Isn't Riz like TikTok swagger? Oh my gosh.
I don't know, we're good. I've zipped through all this. We don't need to read this.
I'm deceased. Okay, charisma. Hello. Bye. What kudos to y'all for doing this twice a week, especially to Alicia. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
What, for streaming? People stream like every day. I feel like I should stream more. Anyways. Bye water. That's who we're saying bye to. Sorry, I missed that. The whole thing.
Thank you, Muse Clues, for saying that you find awkwardness endearing. Yeah.
It's true. Lots
he
of people
mostly
do
just
find
like,
that.
I was going through like a very strong introvert phase where I was just like, I don't want to talk to people. Or I would like make him take calls in French because like, I can't do it. So
That's fair.
Yeah.
Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Dungeon Crawler Carl. Is that it must be a game.
One of the most successful bikini models on Twitch also claims to hold a master's in neuroscience. You'd probably do well on here. Yeah, I mean...
I'm trying to understand what that means. I don't consider myself to be bikini model hot, but I am getting a PhD in neuroscience, so, you know.
I think you're bikini model hot. I've seen you.
Appreciate you.
But, I mean... I think it's fine to capitalize on the assets that one has. And also to, maybe not capitalize, but like, if you gotta use it, the world is stacked the fuck against, this is like a little bit of a feminist tirade, so you can also mute this if you like, but the world is
Trigger warning.
Yeah, exactly. The world is fucking stacked against us. If I can use a fucking little, like, to, like, I don't know.
Sorry. Do you do those teeth too?
No, I don't fucking do the teeth. Okay, when we were at the insectarium, Jax and I were at the insectarium, and there was a lineup of small children going to hold the bug, and I was just like, I want to hold the bug, and Jax is like, Alicia, I think we can hold the bug. Like, basically, like, gestures at this young gentleman that was running the bug corral or whatever it was. And
just go flirt with the man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what, and I was just going to be like, oh, this is clearly for children. But she was like, no, and, like, walks over there all like, can I, like, and you know Jax, right? Like, she's amazing, right? Like, she wasn't that over the top. I'm, like, exaggerating for a fact, but she was just like, we're gonna hold the bug.
I know, literally, like, no quams on that one.
Yeah, she has no hold back. She's full Philly.
Yeah.
Anyways, we held the bug. There's a picture. I have a picture of me holding it. Did you watch my stories?
When did you go to the insectarium?
So that's a no, folks.
Was it, like, this week?
Yes, it was on Saturday.
Bro, all this, literally, I don't know, I never see the good stuff on your stories. It's always just, like, whatever music you're listening to and videos of, like, Hoon in bed where she shouldn't be. That's it. That's the only things I see.
I haven't posted Hoon in bed when she shouldn't be for, like, months, so...
No, it was, like, 2 weeks ago.
Sure. That sounds like me, actually. But,
don't go on Instagram, you know this. It gives me anxiety.
Just make an account where you only follow me and then go on that one. I'm kidding. I want to find the bug picture. I was holding the bug. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't need to show you guys the bug. I held the bug. It was amazing.
What type of bug was it?
Like a leaf bug. I am gonna find the picture. You guys are gonna see the fucking bug. So just. Oh, and a butterfly landed on Jax's back. She had an open back shirt, and the bug landed on her back, like in perfect tramp stamp spot. So
I'm screaming.
Yeah, actually, here I'll go to my. This is on my personal Instagram, so good fucking luck. Butterfly.
Look at that.
Or
you can show me this after the stream too.
No, because I want to show them the bug too.
Okay.
Bug. Look at this caterpillar that looks like Caterpie. Can you see it?
I can barely see that caterpillar.
Okay, fine, fucking whatever. It's a cool. Look at that. That's neat. Stick bug. Near. No, bugs. It was like one of these like leaf guys.
Oh yeah.
And we got to hold him. Anyways, I just realized how insanely small it is and how it will be
completely invisible on screen.
But it was really cute. He was like a little leaf bug, like that big. It was actually a girl, and she was green.
You can send that photo to the Discord if you want people to see it. I
sure can. I will do that later if I remember to, which means I probably won't. Some of us find awkward. How far are we behind? Reading through a sci-fi series right now. It's on the list. Gotcha. Where are you reading? I won't imply further on her beauty if that isn't welcomed. No, I mean, I welcome. Please talk about her beauty. If a girl's hot.
35 going on 65 saw the bug stories. They're a better friend than I am.
I don't even know if we've actually physically met. I think maybe once or twice, but it's okay because
35 going on 65 also said that one of the hardest parts of Quebec is probably the French-English language barrier, which Hundo P. Everyone who like is from Montreal is bilingual.
At least you'll have wife, I think, right? You're engaged. I'm pretty sure 35 going on 65. So at least you'll have a partner. Try dating here across a language barrier. Check a look. We've told that story. I shan't.
Terrible communication.
Well, I mean, it's not like they're not trying, but like it was windy on a date one time, and I was just like windy, and he was like, "Oh, vent."
Wind.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, that's wind. I can't deal with bugs. I legit need a man to protect me from animals. You know, bugs are cooler than you think. Bugs are neat. Bugs are nifty.
I remember doing that for an ex, driving 20 minutes to her house at 3 a.m. with veggie plates. Did you have anxiety at 3 a.m.? To find out it was only about a black widow at the bottom of her stairs.
Only?
That's honestly terrifying. So wait.
A black widow?
I was gonna say black widows are only in like the
not here.
Like at mid-Atlantic region of the U.S. So Chrono Triggers. Where are you located, or where were you located at the time?
Puppy. Skip.
Hey, Skip24.
Skip is Risto's sibling.
Oh,
twin.
Oh, yeah.
I think we actually learned that on stream. But yeah, welcome back. Hiya. I would be living here still just communicating with lots of French-speaking folks. It's not as bad. Like, I know that it's intimidating, but, like, it'll be fine. They'll find your accent charming being across the country, and you probably won't be the only Anglophone that's trying to communicate with them, but, yeah. I screamed at my ex-boyfriend once because a wasp got in through the kitchen door. I'm so sorry for his ears, but it had to be. It was a legit phobia.
Dude.
A wasp got into the house once when I was living on my own right before I moved here, and I'm allergic to, like, bees, wasps, the whole thing, right?
Oh my god.
This is before I owned a EpiPen too, so I just took like a spray bottle and put it on like not the mist spray, but like the fucking trajectory. And I got like a bin lid and like a shield kind of thing, and was like around the door like trying to snipe
like
this
a real D&D character.
I'm not even kidding. And Hoon was like interested.
Yeah.
And I'm like, can't
Get
eat,
the fuck out of
do
here.
not eat. And so I'm like in there like trying to spray the thing.
That's why I kill bugs with a Swiffer. I keep a distance. I'm like, I do not fuck with these things being anywhere near me.
Yeah, I usually don't kill bugs, especially spiders, but there was one really fast spider in my house and I tried to vacuum him up, and he had sticky enough feet that I put the vacuum over him and he was just still there. I also had a shit vacuum, but that was also on my stories. This is years ago, but yeah. No, I love spiders. I have a spider tattoo.
Oh my god, sorry, the cord just jumped at me. Scared we're talking about bugs.
Bugs.
Fuck that shit.
Only a black widow. Casually, I would
Yeah,
burn the
right.
house, move countries, and get a new identity. Is he dramatic? No.
Oh my god.
To make it trickier, my last name is rather French. I think I know you. I'm not gonna dox you, but I think you've messaged me from your personal, and I think I know, and I think you're right. It is Bagley.
North Cali at the time. Black widows are very common there. Ugh.
Oh, oh, Black Widows, no.
Yeah, those fuckers. Actually, my stepmom actually got bit by a black widow, and as you know, they like. I think it's acetylcholine. Like, they activate your acetylcholine receptors and, like, can cause you to have, like, seizures.
It's the same sort of, like, thing that the neurotoxin is in... No, not in blowfish. I think it's similar to rattlesnake venom.
Or something,
in what it does, but you need a lot of anti-venom to do it. Anyways.
Yeah. But she, like, her husband at the time had to, like, rush her to, like, the emerge. Because, like, it's not okay.
You don't fuck her around.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't like that. Sorry, I'm a little thinking about. I don't like no one likes bites, but like thinking about like hospital and wounds just gives me like I get I don't like the hospital. Add it to the list of things that I'm like very uncomfortable.
Your long list of fears. But you love that. You literally talked about it on stream, that fucking hospital game that you thought you were like, let me play sutures, but like you're freaked out by actual wounds. I also love
suturing.
Okay.
That's weird. It's a weird thing. Anyways, I'm amazing at suturing too.
Oh my god, you just said, have you ever seen a huntsman?
Astro Canuck, look at this emote. Is this one of your emotes, Astro?
Oh, it's a cute little spider.
Oh my gosh. I love that. I love that.
Spooters.
Spooters are gross. I got
bit by a wolf spider. Those fuckers are big and hairy. Actually,
a hole in your leg?
I was gonna say, wolf spider I think is the biggest spider in North America.
Yeah, they're like the size of a fucking Jack Russell Terrier.
Yeah,
they're enormous. I'm now John, 35, and was born in Maine. Well, nice to meet you, John. If I could do a Maine accent, I would, but I can't. Get a grip. They're well worth it. What is that one? I can't tell. Oh, hold on. Oh, it's the Yell guy.
Yeah, black widow venom. Yeah, so not necessarily contract, but it activates your acetylcholine receptors. So I think muscle contraction is part of it, but like I think it can cause like seizure like body tremors.
Do a little research.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's get rid of that. It was the Discord going bleep boop, by the way.
Bleep boop.
This.
With.
Oh,
we were not using incognito mode earlier.
That was wife's fault, not mine. Have action. Black Widow venom.
Huntsman spiders. Ooh.
gangliosides and glycoproteins of the motor end plate in the neuromuscular junction, which affects the opening of sodium channels and the release of acetylcholine and norepinephrine. All right.
Yeah, oh, here we go. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Capable of stimulating vesicle release. Okay.
I think it basically it impedes, like, function to the point that it'll stop your heart.
Yeah, prevents muscle relaxation, causing constant, strong, and painful
so it gives you a heart attack.
You're absolutely right. Most people
But via
rarely,
acetylcholine.
rarely die from it, but small children and the elderly can have life-threatening reactions.
Dislike. Strong
No me
dislike.
gusta.
No me gusta. I need a bio break. Goodbye.
Pay for your parking too while you're out.
You pay for my part. Yeah, that's a smart. It's exactly the time to do that.
I remind her of things. I am her second brain. Let me read through the chat here. Australia is a land of nopes, 100%. I think, how many things in Australia want to kill you? Honestly, the concept of magpie swooping season, the fact that there are just birds regularly swooping down trying to kill you and people just consider that normal. These Australians, man, they are strong. Firefox brings me back to Windows 2000. Yeah, my husband is a programmer. That's why he uses Mozilla Firefox. I don't know what styropyro is. So, spasms due to the imbalance of sodium channels. 3M anxiety. So, it essentially triggers, like, a constant release of this, like, neurotransmitter or hormone, quote unquote, that is associated with muscle movement. So, it doesn't have to do anything with, like, sodium specifically. It's sodium channels are associated with, like, neuronal activation.
It says interdit.
What does that mean?
I can't go.
Oh, it's because
it's after 9, so maybe I don't.
Yeah.
I've been worried about parking tickets
this whole time.
Yeah. I also like getting home. Australia. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my god.
Any chance to speak in an Australian accent, I am there. I love it. Arnar.
Look how it burns.
You guys talked about Australia while I was gone?
We were just talking about how everything wants to kill you there. Magpies, the wildfires.
Magpies? There's video of this girl that, like, puts eyes on the back of her helmet to try and scare the magpies. And then they keep swooping and she's like, it's like this chaotic video with this, like, click-clacking around. And she's like, the eyes don't work. The eyes don't work. It's so funny.
People, like, wear fucking branches and shit on their...
Have you ever seen it? Oh, thank you, Siskella.
Thank you for the follow.
That's awesome. Oh, Zomo's here. Cool. What was I gonna... have you ever seen a dog coyote vest?
The fuck?
Does anybody else know what I'm talking about? A dog coyote vest? Please tell me someone else knows.
Dingo ate my baby.
A dingo ate my baby. Guys, okay. Can you guys just, like, envision what you think a dog coyote vest would look like? This is a vest designed to keep coyotes from eating them.
So is it, like, studded, or is it just, like, a little bulletproof-esque vest? You know, they should get them for the fucking dogs in California. You know how many of those fuckers be getting eaten?
Look at that.
Oh, yes, I have. Yes.
Like, obviously they, like, fashion them up with these, like, studs, but, like, most of them are just
that's what people
fucking...
have on their fucking helmets for magpies.
Yeah, that's what made me think of it.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Anyways, I would totally get one for Hoon just for fashion's sake, but she already hates her raincoat. She had to wear a raincoat today.
Oh, poor baby.
It's also on my story, but whatever.
Porcupine Best.
Porcupine Best. Styropyro is a YouTube channel that does various laser and chemistry related content. He does a review of all the chemistry and old science. See how dangerous it
was 100 years ago.
I think I may have seen this person.
Yeah. You know something? Our supervisor has 2 fucking stories of, like, the worst lab safety etiquette in history.
Oh, the mouth pipette.
The first one, he was talking about how they used to mouth pipette, which I guess was the only way to get a vacuum back in the fucking 80s.
You know how you do the thing with the straw where like you put the straw in the liquid and you cover it with your finger, your tongue,
you suck up on it and you hold it.
Yeah.
They used to do that with like all chemicals in a wet lab space. Like imagine like there's
forced into a tube.
Yeah, so it's like not like directly up a straw, but like think of like mouth pipetting fucking carcinogenic things. There's always a chance of putting it that like getting that like
you're supposed
material.
to wear a full-blown like mask, like a respirator to handle just xylenes, which most people don't. So that's cool.
And our lab safety manuals to this day literally say like do not mouth pipette. Like it's in like bold letters.
Yeah.
And he actually also tells this story where he intentionally, you guys may not know what paraformaldehyde is, but it's essentially formaldehyde. It's carcinogenic. They use it for like preserving and fixing like embalming tissue. There were 2 bottles that were unlabeled. One was saline and one was paraformaldehyde. And he said, "Oh, like I will just taste it and the saline will be salty." This man put paraformaldehyde on his tongue and lost sensation in that part of his tongue for like 2 months. Like this man has a PhD and is one of the smartest people I know.
But you can also smell para so strongly.
Just fucking waft it, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I can't.
I mean, it makes for a good story, but Jesus Christ.
Welcome to the chat, Zomo242.
Yeah. The coyote is my spirit animal. Anytime major life thing is coming, one crosses my path while I'm traveling. Oh. That's really cool. Are you indigenous, Somo? Dog cactus.
American safety standards.
Oh yeah, mouth pipetting was a thing, yes. Xylenes ain't shit.
Biogenetic chemist until she switched to her love of making diamond jewelry. Sorry, that sounds like a midlife crisis.
Or it sounds like a backstory for a D&D character.
Yeah, literally.
She was a biogenetic and then she became a jeweler. That's cool. She got a premium career as a jewelry maker. There's a reason you ladies live longer. I get what you're talking about. I can't tell how many Silicon Valley testing facilities had fires due to testing overclocked system. What's that? What's an overclocked system?
What are they testing in the testing facility?
Yeah, we need more details.
Is the valley actually made of silicone? Tell us.
The valley is slippery. A dude is the reason for these obvious warnings.
High key.
Yeah. My organic chemistry professor during the masters would also taste the reagents, and let me tell you, they were not safe.
Oh my fucking god.
This is like the people that you see on videos playing with balls of mercury. I'm like, hello? Can I help you?
Do you want to end up like the Mad Hatter? Like
this is how we have the fucking one brain cell that we toss around chat. My family comes from diverse backgrounds, including Native ancestry. Cool. Nice. Miss Bruce's brain lost one brain cell. Overclocked. The push it beyond speed specs to outperform the normal pace of processing information. Like in a computer processor, so it overheats. What happens when you overclock it? Does it spontaneously combust? What are the stakes here?
Yeah, I'm literally thinking like an overheated nuclear system or something.
Yeah. Get the rods out. Yeah, he also had the deepest accent ever, so we couldn't understand a word he said. I got you, fam.
And here was overclocking information.
Oh, you're gonna tell us what we're missing?
Overclocking is just running a CPU at above the normal or average voltage that is recommended by the producer
Fire
of the
hazard?
CPU. It is definitely a fire hazard. Normally you use water cooling systems in order to keep the CPU cool.
Not one of the cool fan things that have lights.
Yeah, you can at low amounts of overclock, but it's not recommended.
Oh,
I like that. Look at that. Tell it to me like I'm 5. Nailed it. The man's a communicator. Love it.
Peppo G. Sean.
Peepock. It's one of the BTTV things that we can't see that he was trying to make work, but it won't work in slots apparently.
Oh, I see.
Anyways, so it'll show up as something that we can't see, kind of like an emote, is what I understand. I'm just saying what I think it is. I could be very wrong. My calendar.
Okay, that makes sense.
I swear mercury vaporizes at room temp. Yes, it only overheats if you don't have a heatsink cooling system. Oh, I used to use heat sinks when I was like soldering electrodes for voltammetry. It's kind of cool because we would use actual like pure silver solder because it's super conductive and like gold plug things. Sorry. Put it.
Oh, the cords.
Oh, it's because it was there.
So
it
many
should be able to-
cords.
Cords.
Oh,
Just
playing
fiddling.
with the cords.
Fiddle fingers.
Fiddle fingers.
Just a bit of fiddle fingers. I mean, I can't. It's fine. We learn. Like I said, cooling system. Nice. Even simpler.
Overclocked by individuals and right after certain
Deployment.
Generates extreme quantities of heat. Oh yeah, so it's just me overheating my Mac computer, which cannot handle anything.
Communicator? Okay. Yeah. Communication gold star.
Why does this one taste so bad? Ooh.
Oh, I haven't had alcohol in a long time.
You were literally gonna be like, let me taste it.
Yeah, I was. And a drop of alcohol has not passed my lips since the day that we went to the Boston game.
Drops of anything else?
Oh, yeah.
I think actually you need to adjust that date slightly because I'm pretty sure you were out till like 3 a.m. So it's technically the day after.
I was out till like 6 a.m. and yes, I do.
Jesus Christ.
I told you it was a
Bars closed at 3. Where were you?
afters.
Ugh, man.
I know. There's a reason that I'm on a whole bunch of sabbaticals. She doesn't make good decisions.
Your girl's like, can I be in bed by 1? I'm over it.
Yeah, and now I go to bed. Like the other day, I was like, it's Saturday night. It was like 9:30. I'm like, I'm gonna take my sleeping pill.
My bed is calling my name. Yeah, I feel that.
It was nice. But where were you? Did you hear me telling Sean that I tried drawing my own emotes for the first time? I figured out my draw pad and got Clip Studio Paint. And because I want to draw like us, I'm awful at it, but it's so much fun. Because I got like one of the little things because it was on like insane sale on Amazon for one of the like good ones.
You know what we could do is we could use like the TikTok filter where it like Disney-fies your face or something like that. And then you could then use that as like a photo reference to then draw.
I found a couple like photo references. Like obviously I have ones of us and like a couple.
The sim that Doug made for us.
Well, and especially like if you like make them really chibi, which is like super like people on Twitch do that, especially female creators, I guess. It, like,
did you say chibi?
Yeah, chibification. Make them chibi cute.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like kawaii kind of thing. Anyways, when you make them really chibi, they don't ever really actually resemble you because like it just makes everything like super round face and like you know.
I feel like both of us have very pronounced cheekbones too. So
yeah,
it would not look
exactly.
like either of us.
Well, so I've been fucking. I'll send you a screenshot of
Okay.
it. But I was like pretty excited because it's fun and I had tried using Inkscape before and that thing is like a fucking maze of labyrinths of vortexes compared to Clip Studio Paint is so intuitive. I absolutely love it. So Science, I asked him what he uses to do his emotes and he was like Clip Studio Paint, so your girl got it and it was like way better. In college, all the Mac computers overheated just trying to do basic work. Guys, I stream from my Mac at home and she's brand new and like she's not the base tier, the next one up for like RAM ? And her fan, as soon as I start streaming, she's like, oh god.
I was like, mine goes into airplane mode as soon as I run not airplane mode, but like it sounds like an airplane trying to take off as soon as I run like 2 applications. It's like I can't do this.
Well, especially like if you run SPSS is so heavy. Oh my god, right?
Yeah.
I've never watched the stream without alcohol. Sorry, nothing to apologize for. 35
I've never done this stream without alcohol, so like welcome to the club.
The testing facility is working and argued that I could use specific equipment to test out the new chipset processors we were coming out with, but in order to meet the demands of the bosses, we had to remove a lot of the smaller steps in testing, which led to more unsafe procedures from isn't that the same old fucking song? Mainly because there's a tool called the testing environment where it simulates various external environments for the units but would break down half the time.
Love that.
Be forced to test with less than adequate grounds. Yeah, being asked to fucking, do something with very little resources or like cut corners but not act like you've cut corners is like kind of, I don't know, really I don't.
Bye, okay, DK.
Bye, okay, DK. Yeah, see you. My emotes are chibi-esque. Yeah, Dougylicious' emotes are pretty chibi. Little elephants.
Adorable. I was gonna say, I'm gonna say Zomo. I'm gonna pronounce that X like a Z just for some spice.
Yeah,
they
I think
say
that's what
that
they
they
said.
look like a mix of Gary Oldman and Elvis Presley.
Oh.
Which I'm like, okay, damn. Spicy.
Excuse me? I haven't felt the touch of a human being in a long time. So I'm just like, hold on. Gary Oldman immediately processes, like, I find Sirius Black mega hot.
I know. Actually, Gary Oldman in a lot of roles where his facial hair is hot. Like, even in, like,
anything but Winston Churchill, I'll take.
He doesn't play... Gary Oldman doesn't play Winston.
He absolutely does.
In what series / movie?
I can't remember what it's called, the movie.
Even, like, his, he plays the head of police in Batman. Like, low-key daddy in that. Oh, Gary Oldman should be added to the daddy list.
Gary Oldman's on the daddy list.
Officially.
Sorry, this is not up for debate. So
wait, what's
not
up?
so much here.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
And also not so much in Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula. That did not do it for me.
Sure.
Oh, sorry. So, like, definitely would not, but, like, let's just open up a conversation about what we've got here and here. Because, hello. Hi. I wish that this was better resolution, but, like, you know.
That's him
Like,
and Batman.
let's circle back to this. And that mustache.
You know, I usually don't go for a mustache
Saddle
by
up.
itself either, but I'm like, you know what?
I thought you said I don't usually go for mustache rides, and I'm like, I myself do.
Screw me.
Yeah, okay. Gary Oldman and Elvis at their prime? Good job. Well done on being probably very good looking.
Yeah, I keep.
Yeah. Cheers. See you next stream.
Do you agree with the-
Get a grip with saying see you next stream. Out of curiosity, do you agree with NIH's definition of alcoholism? Ooh, that is a really fucking good question. And by definition, I presume you mean the diagnostic criteria? Because,
Probably.
like,
What are they? I don't even know what they are.
so when I took my addiction studies certificate, which is in addition to doing my undergraduate thesis and my master's in addiction work, looking at things as like definitions and diagnostic criteria and those sorts of things are similar but different, and there's subtle differences that I think are really important. So it depends. I guess we can just pull up what the NIH defines it as.
Well, Chrono Trigger's listed it here. He said, for men consuming more than 4 drinks on any day, or more than 14 drinks per week. For women consuming more than 3 drinks on any day, or more than 7 drinks per week. Also, Zomo242, we spent the past 3 minutes just talking about how hot you probably are, and talking about how Gary Oldman is daddy, and that he's getting added to the daddy list. Anyways, so update on the daddy list. It's Popeye's biscuits.
Popeye's, excuse me, what kind of biscuits?
Choke Me Daddy biscuits. What was the middle one? Pedro Pascal is number 3. How have we forgotten what's on the daddy list?
There's the daddy that was also just like the bearded dude in The Last of Us. I think his name is Perry or something.
No.
Well, I thought he was daddy.
But I'm gonna say it's not like, it wasn't, I don't think it was a human. I think it was like another inanimate object, maybe. C'est possible.
I forget.
Someone remind us.
Oh, Daddy Trudeau,
Oh
absolutely.
yeah, it was Prime Minister Trudeau. I knew it wasn't a fucking normal celebrity. Oh yeah, Prime Minister Trudeau,
Yeah.
Pedro Pascal, and now Gary Oldman.
Yeah, definitely works for me.
But yeah, Chrono Trigger, she's definitely the addiction expert.
So, okay, this is what I'm saying. Numbers kind of don't mean anything if you're happy and functioning, in my opinion. And based on what I know, it's likely the Venn diagrams of people that are struggling because of alcohol and actually like suffering in different areas of life. When I took my addiction studies certificate, it was a lot more about like treatment and experience and stuff like that for the actual person suffering from the addiction. So they talked about different life areas. So this is like finances, interpersonal relationships, like friends, relationships romantically, relationships at work and employment, access to shelter and stuff like that, like a whole bunch of different areas of life that can contribute to your shittiness of life or goodness of life, basically. And if you're doing something that could be categorized as addictive, but you're thriving, then addiction, smaddiction, it might meet the criteria, it might fall under the definition, but is it pathological? No. Pathology necessitates a level of maladaptiveness.
I was gonna say,
right?
there are people who are considered to be like functional alcoholics.
100%. This also requires some like truth and insight, right? Because some people will be like, I'm fine, I don't know what you're talking about, but they like wake up every morning with a horrible hangover, or like ridiculously dehydrated, and smoke themselves into oblivion, and you know what I mean. But they say they're fine. That's clearly wrong. They're clearly being impacted in many areas of their life, right? But there is probably I've drank. No, okay.
No, 100%. I was gonna say, I feel like quantity is like very subjective, and I feel like that, like any, like especially living like in university, like I never really had, like I had a phase where I would go out and party a lot, but I wouldn't necessarily, like I wouldn't consider it like alcoholic behaviors, because I was still like doing well in school. Like it never affected my day-to-day life. Like I never got into situations that were like risky or anything like that. So I feel like situationally that is definitely maybe an exception, but I also think that like there are people who have like very high body mass, and like they just drink more to feel even like a slight buzz at all. And I definitely think if I'm at a party for 4 hours, I'm gonna end up having like 3 to 4 drinks ultimately, almost always, because I'm drinking, I was gonna say like 1 per hour approximately. So but if that happens once a week, or 2 times in a weekend, that's not alcoholism,
right? And remember that NIH guidelines are guidelines.
100%.
Right? So like they're not saying that it's the be all end all. They kind of are, but that's because they're NIH and they have to, right? And they'd rather probably err on the side of caution and put the numbers low than what they actually need to be, because some people probably don't even need to hit those numbers to be not functioning very fucking well, right? So
I really think it's how you think about it. Like, does a certain amount of your mental energy like is preoccupied by that substance, you know what I mean? Or when you use it as a coping mechanism, because a lot of people are like triggered and that's their only fucking coping mechanism is to drink or to smoke or whatever it is. Like you feel any anxiety and that's your go-to thing.
Right, and people can be dependent on alcohol as well physiologically.
100%.
You can get delirium tremens and a whole bunch of withdrawal symptoms that are very dangerous. So you need alcohol to function, because you've been on it for so long. Like there's so many different aspects to it that I would say there's a reason that in diagnostic criteria, not that I'm like think that that's the Bible, but there's a reason that they add dysfunction to it, right? Like most of the disorders, if you look at it, it's like trouble sleeping, losing weight, using this much
weight.
Well, I'm just picking random common criteria of any mental disorder, but typically once you get to the bottom of the list, it will specify that it needs to cause distress or dysfunction or something like that, because as you know, most of these things go on a continuum, which is why people are like, oh my God, I'm so OCD about that. And it's like, well, no, you can be a little bit obsessive about having your desk all straight and stuff like that, but does it cause you active distress if I like knock over your pencil? And maybe you'll be a little annoyed, but is it going to derail your entire existence and like fuck you up? Then no, you don't have the disorder. You have a tendency towards it, and you can have alcoholic tendencies without being an alcoholic. So that's a very long-winded answer, but that's how I am.
Actually, one of the things that we talk about in the class that we both TA, and we have an expert in opioid addiction that comes and speaks about it, like tolerance is like, there's a lot of indicators that people will associate with like abuse or addiction, and like those are not necessarily indicators. Like tolerance is 100% not an indicator. It is an absolutely normal thing to have that, and like cravings sometimes even aren't even necessarily an indication of like abuse or addiction, but it's the it's the risky behaviors, it's
So canonically, there's three things that define an addiction. So there's escalation, so using more than you intended to, or in greater doses than you intended to. There's compulsivity, which is the aspect that you're getting at. So this is like a negative, doing something despite negative consequences. You know, like losing your job because you show up late every day or whatever, or fucking up your relationship because you cheat when you're drunk, or blah, 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 any of these things. So continuing use despite negative consequences. And then the third one is relapse, which is obviously attempts to quit that, you know, don't succeed. And those are the three research, like, backed criteria that kind of fall into all of these regions for addiction, as I studied it for many years. Are we super behind the chat?
Yeah, people have been really talking,
Whoa.
but
How far back do we have to go?
like quite a ways.
Holy moly. Gotta chill with the chastity.
Oh yeah, we're here.
Oh.
We're going from here.
You guys reading me to fucking filth about being a little bit fucking spicy?
Horny?
I am not. Well,
Bitch, shut the fuck up.
listen, you try going without it for 3 months for the first time in your fucking life.
Okay.
Life.
I've had some dry spells.
I've never
Like
had a
birthday.
dry spell like this. But it's voluntary, and I remind myself of that, right? It's going to make it, the juice is all the sweeter when you're thirsty. It's true. This one,
True.
that's actually, there's science in that. I want to just derail for, no, we
Do
need
it.
to,
No. You derail and I'll read the chat. No, I'll make sure where we are.
there is science to things being more satisfying when you are depleted of them, whether it's being thirsty because you're in a dry spell, literally or figuratively, because there's something called your interoceptive state. So if you are salt depleted, mice that are salt depleted will drink water that's triple the saltiness of the sea. Triple the saltiness. Do you know how fucking aversive that is? It's revolting, but they will go for it gung-ho ham, and like they crave it. They do all of the characteristic things that you would do if you were, you know, motivated to pursue something. And it's super aversive. Like you don't, it's, yeah, anyways, it doesn't matter. And that's because of their interoceptive state. So there's a reason that things taste better when you're hungry.
Okay, we've gotten a linked picture of how Zomo
We skipped through all of the nice addiction stuff and we're going back to...
Sorry, I want to see... We're going to go from this picture and then we're going to address this long-ass statement that Chrono Triggers put in.
Did this get approved? Oh,
yeah. Get a grip, put it in there. Ooh.
Hold on. You're sending us a picture of yourself?
No, it's an approximation of how they look. I'm screaming.
That's him from, what do you call it? Why can't I think of it? Anyways, no, not me precisely.
It's literally just Gary Oldman, but with like a wig.
Yeah, and not a great wig. It's some mutton chop.
I was gonna say the wig is quite far back, which is like kind of throwing me.
Yeah, well, and you can actually see the lace front or the under the hair, like his cut off.
Yeah, where his
at the
actual
front,
hairline
like
is. Yeah.
It's not a great look, but that mustache still looks.
The mustache still
mega
slaps,
rideable.
I must say.
Yeah.
Not self-doxing, not me precisely. Okay, so Chrono Triggers has a really good question. So they have a close family member who's become very hostile towards Chrono Triggers and other family members. They're in a new relationship and their partner drinks a lot, and now they mimic that behavior. They get more aggressive while they're drinking, and they're not sure if it's like the new person or it's the actual alcohol. They've given them their space and they're already moving on from moved on from communicating with them, but there's other family that want to help them. Do you have any advice?
I am not a psychologist or a therapist of any kind, so I can only tell you like what Alicia would do, not what someone that's a specialist in that arena would do. I'm a specialist about addiction, but about mechanisms of addiction, and I mean, I guess a little bit about treatment from this certificate, but expressing concern, communicating the ways that we've been talking, couching things like, hey, I think we can both agree that things haven't felt the same in the atmosphere around stuff since you started dating X, and we've noticed that, that your behaviors have changed, kind of thing. You can even ask them, do you agree, like, that things have felt weird? And usually getting people are really reluctant. People hate saying no. They say no in their head, but then they'll say yes out loud, right? So then, and that will cognitively trigger them to be a little bit more agreeable. And feel it out from there. But if they're being aggro, honestly, I'm a big advocate of self-protection. So for me, the fact that you're doing distance from them, that's what I would personally do. For the family members that want to help them, I mean, you could go full intervention. Makes you...
That's
no.
always... Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend that.
Yeah.
There's a reason that's a television show on A&E and not something that people actually do. But yeah, expressing concern from a genuine place.
I don't know, like, what your relationship with this individual is. If they're, like, a younger person and they, maybe look up to you, or, like, look up to, there's, like, a specific person in the family that they have a really good relationship with, or they previously did. If they're quite young, I think sometimes people do not know, they do not realize what their drunk personality is and how it affects other people. I have friends who run the gamut of drunk personalities. There's, like, the girls who, like, hook their fucking arm around your neck. They're like, oh my god, I love you so much, when they get drunk off their ass. There's the guys who become a totally different person and are, like, arguing things that they don't actually believe in. Like, they become, like...
Mansplainers?
Well, yeah, but, like, they're not like that in real life. They only are like that when they're drinking. And they just repeat the same thing over and over and over again. And so, like, telling... if they're quite young and you say... hey, like, this is how your behavior when you're drinking affects me and it affects other people. Like, I think, honestly, some people, like, would be like, oh my god, thank you for telling me, and they will just, like, be more vigilant about that. I would hope that, like, if it is actually just the other person in that relationship and, like, they're just, like, living a lifestyle with this person, it's probably not sustainable. So I would assume that relationship is probably not going to last, and ultimately, like, just welcome them back with open arms when they do come back. But yeah, that's I have a lot of alcoholic family members and a lot of fucking fucked up relationships in my family, and you kind of just have to, like, try to be no judgment about it. And I feel like we've talked about this before, but, like, unconditional positive regard with people, you can call people out on their shit, but say,
I have to add a caveat, only to the degree that it's mentally, physically, and emotionally safe for you to do so. It is completely acceptable for you to draw a boundary and say, hey, you don't get access to me if this is how you're going to act. But you need to give them a fair shot and express your concern. Like, you can't just be like, fuck you, here's a boundary. That's not a real boundary, right?
Yeah.
But, expressing your concern, saying, hey, I've noticed a difference. You might not notice it, but I do, and if you're not willing to face that, then I'm not willing to be as engaged in this relationship that we have, kind of thing. That's, for me, a safe way to instigate distance, because if this person is, as you're saying, aggressive, and like you're saying, alcoholic people with alcoholism don't always, have their faculties with them. That's one of the things about alcoholism. Protect yourself first. Protect the other people that need protecting if there's minors involved. Like, it's really an individual situation, but being kind to them and knowing that you're coming from a place of compassion is important. But
and, like, again, it's like, I love you, but, or, like, this is how your behavior is affecting me. This is, like, always, like, this is another tool of communicating. When you're communicating in an argumentative situation, talk about yourself, talk about your own feelings, because, that hurt me. Because saying, well, what you're doing is wrong, everyone's immediately going to get defensive if you say that, right? So, so we've had some more feedback. So we've attempted that, and they fully deny any changes. They blame us for any changes. The entire family is simply jealous. I won't comment on their intelligence, but it's not high. You can tell I'm tired. Again, it sounds like they're pretty young, or they're still
immature.
Or immature. They're still figuring their shit out. Just give them the time and space to do that, and I'm sure they'll, come back at some point. That's all I can.
It really depends on to what degree you want to get involved. Because, like, my...
60 plus. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Then they a grown-ass motherfucker, and I would be pulling the fuck out of that. But again, it depends how much... Like, because if it were... Say my dad would never be like that. But, you know, if it was something that you couldn't disengage from, then talk to a professional. Engage a professional. But if it doesn't sound to me like this person is, like, really open to that, and you can't force people to accept the love that you're offering them. That's just a flat out fact of life. You can only offer. You cannot love R-word someone. You know?
Yeah. I have an uncle who is, I think, just turned 60 or is right around that age. He's a lifelong alcoholic. He has always had a safety net and a safety blanket. It's either been his parents taking care of him, it's his girlfriend's father, or his siblings come in and rescue him all the time. And like, just recently, my mother and her sisters were like, we cannot continue to rescue this grown-ass 60-year-old man until, you know, maybe he like hits rock bottom and like asks for help. You know what I mean? Like, people need to recognize that they need help before you can help them sometimes. And, like, that's probably what this situation is, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, and...
Before you can truly help them, I would say. You can put Band-Aids on everything forever.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of the time that they don't realize that they need help and are unwilling to have help is because they have, I hate to use the term, but the enabling of the family members. Like, that's a common term that's bandied around, and it's really antagonistic towards people that are trying to be compassionate. That doesn't mean that they're not maybe part of the problem, but people are autonomous. To circle back around to the human beings, like, for the most part, are acting autonomously, and you know, at some point they have to take responsibility, right? And you can only court that so long. Like, it's something that I feel like pretty strongly about that. Like, I don't know, it's I think I've said it as much as I can say about it.
You know, and it honestly sounds like they're working through something.
Yeah,
like,
I'm sorry that you have to deal with that.
Yeah.
Honestly, that sucks. That sucks. I should have led with that. I'm sorry.
True. We sympathize. I empathize.
My dad, TLDR, pathological liar with delusions, a god complex, addicted to coke, beer, pot, and womanizing any person he could get close to at 17. Half sibling.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, by the way, Dad's dead. Sorry? Question mark.
I'm sorry that you're here's Johnny, father.
Jesus Christ.
Is dead.
Yeah.
Jesus Lord.
Have you watched Kevin Can Fuck Himself? No, I have not. I think you suggested it last stream, actually. Whenever I hear the Donald's voice, mannerism, self-grandizement, it reminds me of my father, which is why I've always been disgusted by him. We call that being triggered.
He just said, good riddance, Dad. Whew, strong feelings.
Yeah, might be worth checking out a little hashtag therapy.
Our last episode was last episode or was
no,
the one before?
Before that, last episode was dreams. But yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we talked about why everybody should go to therapy. Because it's healthy to go to therapy, even if you don't need therapy. You don't need to have a broken leg to go to the doctor. You should be going to a doctor for regular checkups, right? So same thing for your brain. Just get in there. It doesn't hurt. If you think, oh, I'm good, could you be better? Could you be better if you got more money? Could you be better if you got more, any of these things? What's going to help you there? Your brain. Who helps your brain? Therapist. Get in there. Help yourself. It's like a fucking tune-up for your car. It's like giving your fucking car rocket fuel. I know that that's not a thing in real astral world and your car would explode or whatever, but just run with my metaphor, please.
Zoma was pointing out that therapy requires money. I understand that some people stay in therapy for a long ass time. If you can afford it, people say that cognitive behavioral therapy, which is one of the most common therapy methods to this day, is you only need, and actually a lot of other therapy types, you only need like 8 to 10 sessions to see any type of progress. And at that point you can say, okay, I have some coping tools, I can try and put these in place, and then maybe 5 years from then, if you want to come back and reassess and talk to somebody about new stuff, you can. But yeah, don't think it's something that you have to pay for every week for a year, because it's definitely not.
Related to that, Frequently different places, like I at one point couldn't afford it, and I went and got 6, I think, free sessions from like a crisis counseling place when I was going through like a very serious situation, because I couldn't afford it and I needed it, kind of thing. And so there are resources. Sometimes you have to wait, but you want to know what the time's going to pass anyway. So get on the list if there is a list. If there's not, there's numbers to call. Actually, Risto Rock, who I think he's in lurk mode right now, but he talks about resources for mental health on his stream on Coffee Talk Sundays for America, because he's American. So he talks about like phone numbers and that sort of thing. But like, also, we talked earlier, there's AIs, things that can help you, and apps that can help that, you know, are free or close to free. Mindfulness apps. I'm not trying to just like spam you with things, but money is a huge barrier. The other thing is, sometimes what you get back in spending that money actually ends up giving you more literal dollar value, because instead of, you know, being like, oh, I'm exhausted and emotional eating out for $50 or something like that, or buying.
Did you say emotional eating out?
Not eating out, like eating food, like consuming takeout.
Okay.
I mean, if you're...
Man.
Your mind went there. I was talking about food. My mind is always there.
Okay.
And I'm just kidding. Anyways, you know, doing those sorts of things, buying bottles of wine and saying like, fuck it, or whatever your thing is, frequently you'll make it back in productivity and enthusiasm, and it will be money well spent. So I'm not saying you can magic money you don't have out of nowhere, but frequently it will cause a snowball effect. So give her a go. No need for empathy for me. It was just a bad space for other people who are more closely involved. I'll pass on the good vibes, though, to those who need it. My therapy is writing, as I said last time. 10 books, 400 plus poems. I mean, then keep it up. Keep it up and share it. Sometimes I don't know if you were there on my last stream.
Also, Zomo242, that person Loki sounds like a scam. He said they did one session of therapeutic assessment. It was a radio ad for one free mental health service. And therapists typically don't advertise on the radio. Just want to point that out. Talked with him for 4 hours, took copious notes, and asked for $400 cash up front for a bipolar level 2 with PTSD diagnosis or treatment plan. $400 cash up front. That sounds sketchy as hell.
Yeah, you don't usually pay for services before you get them, first of all.
Or cash, for that matter.
Well, I mean, money is money, but yeah, that is a little odd. And also, any deal or proposal that is being offered with urgency is almost always a deal you can stand, the kind that you should sit and wait and think about critically, you know, because if they're using urgency as a tactic, that's
communication.
That's a tactic for a reason, right? So I would say that you were unluckily, you know, a lot of people have bad experiences like this with mental health professionals, or even just a bad match with a therapist, and allow that to be like, it didn't work for me. No, like dating, just like friends, you have to try a couple to find one that's gonna fucking vulgar your science, man.
You're honestly there, like finding a therapist that vibes with you is so important. I think we talked about this
in the therapy one.
Yeah, in the therapy one.
Go back to that VOD and check it out. There might be something useful for you there.
Like, there's lots of different methods of therapy. You need to find the one that works for you. You need to find the therapist that like gets your vibe, because some, like, I remember my first therapist was like super hippy dippy. I could not like hack it. I had to switch. I know that Alicia has been searching for a good therapist like for a minute, and has like finally found one that like vibes with her. So
I fucking love Chantal. She's amazing. That would require a second meeting. I just walked. Well, good for you. Good judgment call. I'd report them to the board if your state government has one. Very misdiagnosed for over 15 years. I was on Zoloft. It helped for the first 10, but needed to be doubled, then tripled. Yeah, we talked about this actually, or maybe I talked about it in a solo one, that the issue with lots of medications is that you build tolerance to them. Any pharmacological agent you build tolerance to, sadly. And you do reach a dose level that you can't go above, because then it starts to cross over into what's toxic or will cause super maladaptive side effects, right?
Well, they also, like, I feel like there's, like, they don't do longitudinal pharmaceutical studies for the most part. Like, I feel like, you know, people will do it for a year or 2 years, and that's where they have data, but I don't, like...
Antidepressants are not meant to be on long term.
That's what I was gonna say. Like,
they're not designed for that.
Exactly, and I don't think there's, like, some people are on them for a long-ass time, but there's very little evidence for, like, what that does to your brain, you know?
Yeah, it's true. It's very true. And... I mean, there's no shame in being on medication, by the way. That's like, I also want to make sure that we don't swing into the other territory where it's like, you should try and get off your medications if you've been on for too long. Yeah. Fuck that. I've been on my medication for almost 15 years. I will never go off it unless I actually absolutely have to.
Well, because you've had super maladaptive shit happen to you when you've tried to as well.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And so there's no shame in that, right? You know, like, take what you need to take, get what you need to get, and that sort of thing. If you're on medication, no shame. But yeah, if you do truly have anything even in the realm of bipolar 2 and PTSD, you don't need to be catastrophically mentally unwell to still deserve to treat yourself kindly or to pursue some sort of support. I don't want to be trite, but there's podcasts out there. Like, use your critical thinking, which clearly you can and do if you walked away from that deal. But, like, there are free resources out there, increasingly so, that can be at least a life vest to get you to the island, you know, eventually. And put away fucking, I don't know, $1 a day for the next, till Christmas, and then have yourself a little Christmas therapy sesh. Merry Christmas to me. You know, like,
yeah,
it will be so fucking worth it. Like, I don't know. I can't sing the praises of therapy enough. That's it. The most I've ever seen was a 5-year study. They definitely do, but keep in mind that this is longitudinal correlational data, not clinical trial data, I think is what you were getting at, right? So when they do clinical trials, all they're assessing basically is, will it kill you? Are the side effects bad enough that you're going to get sued / it's going to overwhelm the benefits that are coming from the therapeutic effects? And
is it more efficacious than placebo?
Exactly. Those are the 3 things that they look for in clinical trials, and as soon as it's through the gates, they're trying to get it to go out there and make money. They are not concerned with what it's going to look like long term, as long as it's not going to get them in a lawsuit. That is, period, end point, the evil of pharmacology, pharmacological systems, whatever.
Okay, is there any last points about communication that you want to drop before we dip?
Yes. Double inhale, long exhale. So if you need to calm down immediately in the moment, because like mindfulness and all that kind of stuff is like really nice to practice, but if you are like about to have a panic attack, about to have a rage moment, any of those sorts of things, and you need to calm down now, there's physiological and mental evidence that this type of breathing will help. So you breathe as much in through the nose, like, and then you'll breathe even more, hopefully through your nose, ideally through your nose, but if you need to sip air through your mouth, you can. But basically you go like, and the idea is that the inhale is more than the exhale. So what you're doing is you're flooding your alveoli and your lungs with a whole lot of oxygen, because usually what causes a stress response in a lot of cases is obviously visual stimuli and auditory stimuli and that sort of thing. But what these tend to cascade into is an increased balance of carbon dioxide versus oxygen attached to your like hemoglobin and stuff like that in your blood cells. And that causes your body to be like, ooh, are we upset right now? Should we like pump out some, you know, make the heart work better, vasodilate, all of these things, which is why you get flush and hot and those sorts of things when you're enraged and that sort of stuff, right? So make the inhale long and then inhale a little bit more. You're trying to flood your body with oxygen, and then the exhale can be like just a sigh, like a physiological sigh, and that will basically start your body's parasympathetic nervous system to start come in and downregulate the stress or the arousal that you're feeling at the time. And by arousal I mean like physiological arousal, not like
Arousal snake.
The arousal snake. 6 flags of red flag steel. I've always walked away when shit went bad. It's simpler. Hey, does anybody have someone for us to raid, by the way? Because we're going to wrap up while we're finishing this. Oh, these were some of the ones that someone suggested last time just to check out. But I've always walked away when shit went bad. It's simpler than giving my learned trait of acting violently, vocally or physically. I walk away, avoid the trigger. I mean, sometimes dealing with what is making you want to respond in anger, when like what is beneath that impulse is also kind of important, because like it is good that you have that self-control. Don't get me twisted. That is under fucking rated. But you know, sometimes getting at why you have that feeling in the first place is an even richer and deeper place to go.
I can't type with one hand.
Let's see. Yeah, we did Mahoodles last time. Let's see if there's someone else on mine. But if not, we'll go Mahoodles.
Sean, can you look up Studio Cornix and Freckled Science?
Oh, paleontologizing is on. I don't know them, but I admire them. Science is on too. Let's do science.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they've been very
so
good.
Science has been so generous to us, and I just like giving them a bit of love. So.
Is that all you wanted with communication? Anything else? Any more bits of knowledge you want to drop on us?
Well, yeah, I mean, I have like a couple of things, but like, yeah, you're never not communicating. Manipulate.
Manipulate.
First impressions last. First impressions last. You don't ever get a second first impression, and like your outfit, your mannerisms, your posture, your everything. The presentation that I was watching that did this had like a quick 2-second or maybe even 1-second flash of 3 characteristics of a person. So it was just like smiling, angry, blah, 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 blah. And then the other one was like, whatever. Anyways, the point is that the lists were the same, but the order was different. So the first one, if the big letters were smiling, everyone in the audience just like auto said that person's better. Because you don't it's truly it's automatic, and you can't undo that. It's so deeply entrained. Anyways, yeah. All they did was harp on about negative shit in the world, so I left, cut my 4-day hotel vision. Woo, spicy. Yeah. I mean, you have to have mental boundaries. If that's going to be something that like is going to cause you that much distress, then walking away is the most important thing that you can do. Is there a name for the bias that describes the worst impressions last? Yes. So negativity bias. Yes. 100%.
Worst, or but like first. You said first impressions though.
Well, I'm thinking he's saying like when people are viewed only
like
through
the
their worst aspects.
Oh.
Well.
Okay.
So negativity bias is like, you're more likely to write a Yelp review if you had a bad experience than you are if you had a good one.
Or people, when they get like 7 positive comments on a photo but 1 negative one, and they'll think about the negative one. Yeah, that's negativity bias for sure. And that's also like an adaptive thing that's a relic of being like predator-prey kind of status that we have now applied to much more sophisticated things, right? Because we've talked about it before, but really briefly, positive things like candy, that's nice, but gonna be attacked by eagle. If you don't survive attack by eagle, negative, then it doesn't matter. Positive doesn't matter if you don't survive negative. So that's why your brain has a negativity bias in general. Do you want to go to the science channel really quick? Well, this has been lovely, guys. Thank you for being here with us.
Yeah.
I feel like we were really straight into the tangents this episode, but this was really fun. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, me too. As usual, you guys are awesome. I'm just gonna mute.
So right before we raid, I just want to say that thank you for being here. This has been Vulgar Science with Layla Shone.
And Neuralicia, and yeah, stop by my Friday stream and bring this back up, and yeah, we'll chat about it then. Thank you very much. Vulgar Science out. Actually, I'm gonna raid, so stick around, please. /raid Sci Ants. Oh God, science _ streams. This is someone who I highly admire in the SciComms community, so please stick around and check them out for a little bit. And I think, Muse Clues, congrats on being a VIP around here, huh? Every stream has been on communication. Absolutely, it has T. Okay, /radio science streams. Invalid username. Alicia doesn't know.
Science.
Oh, fuck.
Mess. We're like, let's sign off. It's not working.
Science _ streams.
That's a strams.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Streams.
That's a steams.
I swear I'm not doing. And you're just reading. That's a steams. That's a streams.
That's a stream out an S. There you go.
Oh my God! I swear to God, you guys. Okay.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. The raid has been
God.
created. Okay, we're heading out. 9, 8, 7. We're actually gonna launch on my SpaceX. Motherfucker. Failed ass, scrubbed ass. Launch. Here we go. Raiden. And